It's yours truly, Probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat. Well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Probably Pablo in the Big O Show. Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping it glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know. Culture, Probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour. Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary. Yeah.
It is time to rock and roll on the show. Welcome aboard on a beautiful Friday. You made it. It's the weekend. Although I don't know. It depends on, have you been working all week or have you been quarantined all week or it all. It's different now, because most of us grind throughout the week and then we get to the weekend, all that kind of stuff. I guess it's different for all of us. Some of us have been working throughout the entire pandemic, which we are so blessed to be able to do that and work throughout the pandemic. And then there's some that now are kind of back to work a little bit and trying to figure things out. And they got to the week. And then there's obviously a large portion of America that isn't back at work and some back out of work again. I mean, hell, last week, we were here last week, a week ago. Hey, we're going to Hialeah Park. No, you're not going to Hialeah Park. And, it's like 400 employees now that are out of work there. It's just sad. So it all depends on where you're at. But it's Friday, and I hope you're able to enjoy the weekend. We are going to try to help you get into that weekend in a good mode. So we'll have some fun. I see a bunch of people already signing on the program today. We only got one show because no Hialeah Park. So we'll be here probably, I would say about 3 hours, something along those lines. We'll give you some stuff. We got Michelle Kaufman joining us at 11:30. So we've got one guest for you today. A lot of talk. I got a bunch of things to talk about here on the show. There's so many different directions that we can go in on the program. The one thing that I keep seeing, and it's interesting because denial is a problem for a lot of people, and maybe sometimes it's a drug addiction, maybe sometimes it's some kind of other addiction. You know what I mean? And you're in denial, and you won't admit the problem that you have. Maybe, we're running into a lot of Karens in this world. Maybe they don't realize how racist they are. There's a lot of things like that. And denial is running rampant through college football and the NFL. And I keep telling you this. And look, I hope I'm dead wrong overall because, yesterday, 61,067 cases, 960 passed away. So it's 960 yesterday, about 890 the day before, about another 990 2 days ago. So you're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2,700 people have passed away in the last 3 days. And Florida had 8,935 cases out of those 61,000. So I don't see the situation getting better. It's gotten worse, and it's getting progressively worse because of all of our irresponsibilities over the last month, whether you're protesting without a mask, whether you're trumping without a mask or whether you're just want to force your way into Costco or a dentist office without a mask. You know what I'm saying? So there's the problem is big in this country. And, you know, I see where the Big Ten yesterday finally took that step forward. Remember, I've been talking about the NFL, how it's been a Pac-Man, right? No mini camps, right? No Hall of Fame game, no Hall of Fame ceremonies. Now they're not going to play weeks 1 and 4. Players don't even want to play weeks 2 and 3. Eventually, the season will start to get pushed back. Eventually, it might even get canceled. The pros, a little hope. But college, you saw what happened yesterday. The Big Ten now said they are only playing conference games. This is just a precursor to pushing the season to spring. Look, they're too greedy to cancel it outright because this is financially so devastating to all these schools because it's going to cripple, eliminate, wipe out athletic programs, okay? They're even talking about football programs not coming back after this because the losses are so big. And it's really hard to justify to your board and to your students that, oh, we need you to pick up the tab for our mistakes. You know what I mean? So this is where this is all going to come to a head now. And eventually, look, man, I would love to see that. Nobody's a bigger football fan than I am, you know? And look, as much as I love where I'm working at with the soccer team in Inter Miami and the MLS, I think the MLS is safe while they're in the bubble. But once they get out of the bubble, I think they run into the same problems baseball and football. Football is going to be worse than everybody else because it's a contact sport. So it's going to be really hard for people not to be around other people. And football players, you know it and I know it. There's 2 or 3 knuckleheads in every locker room. And those knuckleheads are going to go out and get COVID, and then they're going to give it to all the rest of the guys in the locker room. It's just going to be, because that's how it is. Unfortunately, I would love to think different, but I saw yesterday that the people for Canes football, they say that fans will be returning to the stadium pending any future problems. Now, smaller capacities more likely. Now, this is, it's funny because I get what they're doing. They keep spitting out hope on you, right? Oh, no, of course we're going to play football. Yeah, I mean, Mike Gundy had them on the field in June for practices. Okay? We'll be back on the field practicing in June. Well, June passed. How'd it go for Mullet Head? Didn't happen, right? The racist dude did not get the guys on the field on June 6th, right? So that didn't happen, and this is not going to happen. It's going to continue to progressively finish out, okay? It's just they keep taking the steps because they're in denial, you know? It's people in the NFL are talking about bringing in fans. How are you going to do that? You guys want lawsuits? Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to have the people that aren't going to be wearing their mask the right way. It's going to be a disaster. There's no way you're able to do this while this is running rampant. If we would be Europe and we had crushed the curve and it's down at the bottom, then I tell you, we got a shot because we're all responsible. We're all doing it right. But I got to tell you something. A lot of the people that you see that are anti-masks, a lot of them are football fans. Okay? All right? I'm just telling you. Because it's coming from a certain side of the fence, and it's influenced, and it's, football's heavy on that side. And that's why you have that kind of thinking, and that's why also football, it's not going to happen this year. I just don't think so. NFL, slightly. Small. College isn't happening because you can't put the kids at risk. And the Big Ten took the first step. Princeton and the Ivy League already said, we're pushing it back. But academics is more important to them than athletics. All of their athletes are there to actually try to graduate, and they're actually looking at careers. Alabama, Florida State, Michigan, Tennessee, every one of those kids are, the word of the day, delusional. They all think they're going to the NFL. You know what I mean? Very few guys on each of those teams are actually thinking about, I got to get a degree so I can be prepared for a career because I know I'm not making it to the NFL. That's the guys on the what's that called? What's the practice team called or whatever? What's that called in college?
It's the Suicide Squad.
Is that what it's called?
Or the practice dummies?
I don't know. There's a name for it. Forget it.
How about Rudies? They're all Rudies.
Whatever they're called. I forgot the damn name at the moment, but those kind of guys know that they're not going to the NFL, so they got to hit the books.
Taxi Squad.
I don't think it's even Taxi Squad. I think it's called. That's for the NFL. That's for pros. So it just. There's no way I see college football happening. I've been telling you that now for weeks. And what we're watching now with the Big Ten, with the Ivy League, it's just they're trying to put off the bad news as much as possible. It's mid-June, July, isn't it? It's July 10th. Okay, not mid-July yet. And you're in 2 weeks we're supposed to have camp. How are you going to have NFL camps when we have 61,000? Do you think we're going to crush the curve in 2 weeks when we couldn't crush it in 4 months? I mean, come on. Let's go. Let's be objective about all of this. Let's look at it for what it is. There's no way. The problem's gotten worse in 4 months. Not better. Way worse. 4 times the amount of ICU beds are being taken right now in South Florida than when we went into quarantine. We had 25% of the ICU beds taken up. So we went into quarantine so we would avoid where we're at now. That they're on the brink of now having to use all those other makeshift hospital beds and stuff that they made at the convention center. I look at the Big Ten, and I know that it hurts Miami because they had a date with Michigan State. So that was their best out of conference game. Now that's gone. And again, this is going to set back, and the ACC and everybody else will follow. Look, what's going to end up taking over, ladies and gentlemen, are not athletic directors and head coaches anymore. It's going to be college presidents, board of directors. These are the people that are going to step in now because it becomes a medical issue now. It becomes a thing where you have young people at risk, and you're not paying them. And in the end, look, at the pace we're at, I get what they're trying to do with schools, with regular schools, and getting the kids back because parents, they can't send some parents have to send their kids because they cannot afford, daycare. They can't afford to pay somebody. Hell, a lot of those parents may not even be working. And if they are, they might be even limited and they have less money coming in. We all have less money coming in. Come on. So to me, it just looks like a situation where it's getting more realistic for football where they stand. And since you can't bubble the sport, you can't bubble the NFL. Forget about college. Can you imagine that? There's no way. You would have to take up an entire state. Like, hey, North Dakota, we'd like to kick your residents out, and we'd like to put 100 college football teams. They're all in a bubble. That kind of stuff. There's no way of doing it. You can't do it. Seriously. So it gets to a point now where you see the negative progress that we're making. And by the way, if you love football and you weren't wearing a mask and you're spreading COVID and all that, you could just thank yourself. Don't blame, I'm not a Trump guy, okay? But I can agree with Trump at times in certain things. And I could agree with other politicians on both sides of the fence on certain things, and I can disagree with them. I don't blame all these politicians for opening, okay? I blame mostly Americans for being ignorant throughout the process. Because the politicians for 3 months kept you down because they were trying to get a hold of this thing. And then when we brought it down, they said, okay, we'll give you guys the freedoms back again to go get work and go back out, but let's do it responsibly. And everybody just said, hey, let's go to the Ozarks and party. And then this is where we're at. It's really hard to blame the politicians mostly for what's going on now. It's really mostly our fault that we chose not to wear a mask. We chose to spread it. We chose to protest without a mask. We chose to go support a candidate without a mask. We chose to bum rush Costco without a mask. It's really our fault. So when football doesn't return, you can stand there and look in the mirror and go, it's our fault. You know what I mean? And it's everybody. It doesn't matter. It's everybody from Rudy Gobert, who months ago started it and passed it to his teammate, which was right away a telltale sign. And we've all seen, we've read, we've watched the stories. One person brings it to a family. The entire family gets it. You know, I was watching yesterday a story of a doctor that he's just returned back to take care of patients in the ICU. He had a brother-in-law stay with them. The brother-in-law had COVID and ended up giving it to the entire family. The two kids, the doctor, his wife, the doctor's brother, because he's friends with the guy. I mean, all of that. And everything came, and look what ends up happening. And that was one person polluting that whole house. And that's the cycle we're in. And that's why when you look at what's going on, it's the inevitable. I kept telling you, right? It's a Pac-Man that's eating up the NFL season. And then, okay, well, we'll push this back. We'll take this out. We'll take this out. We'll take this out. Eventually, you're going to realize that it's going to cost you more money to start up now and then to stop and then to start up again. So you're better off not starting at all and hold off till next year when you've got a vaccine. Or hopefully America has woken up and we say, hey, let's put on a mask and let's stop killing people. You know? Speaking of that, let me put mine on. Even though we're like nowhere near anyone here. I don't really need it. But
yeah, but remember, this thing could survive in the air and just float across the street.
Yeah.
And come and get you. It's gonna get you.
Even though we're outside in the heat. By the way.
Thank you for bringing the fans. By the way.
yeah, we're outside in the heat, and so when we do it on Friday, we're completely outside by ourselves. In this deck. It has a roof. That's the good thing. So, you know, it's a little cooler for us than it would be out there. But it gets sticky, man. It gets sticky. And so, you know, I just hope that unfortunately, we're going to have to learn our lesson the hard way. And that's what we're doing right now. You know, it's sad.
You're just being a realist, man.
I know.
You know, there's that 30% we always talk about, 35, whatever it is. It's not the majority by no means, but it's enough to screw things up really, really good.
Yep. No, you're right. You're right. A little roll call. Call of Duty is in. He was first today. Rich V is in. Gus 1388. Huku Tube, Myron, in other words. Marta is in the house. Good morning, Marta. Man of 1,005 holds. Mike Jamrozek. Did I get it right? Jamrozek? That's actually, dude, that's like a cool name, by the way. Jamrozek. I like it. Jonathan Jenkins is out in Fort Pierce. Flipside Fishing. John Santos. Did you sleep this morning? I'm just kidding. Please don't block me. Brother, I work a lot. Okay. I'm blessed. But I
got that apology in really quick.
Yeah. I tried to sleep as much as I could. Trust me. I was doing the log for our pre, half, and post for Tuesday's broadcast. Okay, so it's got to be done way ahead, and then that way people can adjust it, and then I got to go back, and there's a lot of work, man, putting together a broadcast every single week now. So yeah, hang in there, John Santos, with me. I am. Listen, I never had a face for radio as it is, so if I add bags to it, it's not a big deal. Let's see. David says 98 degrees in the shade this afternoon in Ottawa. Good morning, chilly Floridians. There you go. Super Boom Shack says, I've been working at home since March. Thank God. Tom Flores says, what's up, Big O? The Washington Redskins' new name should be the Fighting Snyders. There we go. Ian from Brooklyn. Almost missed you guys this morning. Hello, everybody. Clee Torres is in the house. Mark McIntyre is in. Jean-Luc is in. Julius 305. Draco Vite. Let's see. A changing world, though. Yes, it is. It is a changing world, my brother. Let's see. Mike Gundy still had that epic rant back in the day. I'm a man. I'm 40. Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. And I've got a terrible haircut. Let's see. Who else do we have in the house? George Albanese is in. What else? David Pridham. People should be pissed at Trump for always overreacting his limited skills and knowledge. Oh, it is what it. Hey, dude, we voted him in, bro. We get what we asked for, my man. That's kind of what it's been. And when we vote Biden in, and you're going to pay a whole boatload of taxes, you'll get what you asked for. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a vicious cycle, bro. All we're going to do is vote one terrible candidate in after another. We don't get any good candidates anyway, so it doesn't matter what side. The Democrats couldn't come up with a good candidate if their lives depended on it. I mean, that's how bad it is.
Remember, he didn't win the popular vote.
I know that.
He won the electoral vote, which that electoral college, that needs to be done away with.
But I don't know what's worse, the fact that the Republicans, the best they can come up with is Trump, or the Democrats, that the best they can come up with is Hillary. You know what I mean? The Democrats can't find any dirt on Trump. And he's got some stuff, but they can't even. The Democrats are so incompetent. It's hilarious how incompetent those fools are. Republicans are twisted with their views.
Don't forget about the Democrats being cocky and self-assured, because they were all like, they had it in the bag.
That's why. That's why they get smoked more often than not.
Totally clueless, man.
It's a terrible, terrible group of people, bro. I mean, both Democrats and Republicans. They don't get it. I mean,
it's a neck and neck race for who's worst.
Yeah, dude, it's disgusting. One puts up a habitual liar to run, and then the other one puts up a disgusting individual in Trump, and then they sell their soul to them. It's terrible. Both sides are a joke, dude. I mean, it's just amazing. And any of you that try to defend Democrats or Republicans, it's like, please, come on, man, just look in the mirror. I mean, how can you defend any side? It's a joke.
You know what's sad? There are some good in both.
Yes.
They won't run.
Yes.
And honestly, would you want the job as president? Exactly.
No. I would vote for Mark Cuban in a heartbeat. You think he wants that job? Hell no. He wouldn't want that job. He's got a better job right now. Myron says, I have a friend of mine dying of COVID-19. He's 50 years old. Shoot. Wow. Sorry, Myron. Damn.
That's not enough years, man.
No,
it's
man. Of
not
course
enough years, bro.
Yeah, no. I lost my dad at 51. I've already outlived him by a couple years. It's ridiculous. Let's see. What else do we have here? Winda RLK68 is in the house also. The Raging Dolphin Maniac is in, except we never learned the hard way or not. You know what, Raging Dolphin Maniac? You're right, dude. Ray Grulong is in. George Albanese, I'm happy Jersey peaked early. We've been flattened for over a month now. Deaths have dropped big time. Yes. Now you guys see the key now, George, will be is because New York and Jersey have done a great job of squashing the curve, right? Now they've done a better job than Florida did, obviously, of recovery. New York was they were in a terrible position. They got 15 million people on top of each other, subways, whatever. They were the petri dish. It didn't matter who was in charge. You were going to face a ton of deaths in New York because it's a lot like a place like China, Mexico City, where it's condensed and there's a lot of people. So if you have something like this, it's going to spread like wildfire. But I got to give New York credit. They squashed it. They stayed diligent to the whole thing. Cuomo has done a much better job than DeSantis in the recovery phase of all of this. Now, the question is, as you open up in New York and New Jersey, do you get stupid again and do you do what's gone on in Florida, Texas, and Arizona and other places that we're a bunch of freaking morons? So do you follow the stupidity of the South or do you lead by example and do some of the things they're doing in Europe? Okay? In Ireland, they had like 2 deaths and they said, we're staying shut down. Okay? Like they want to wipe it out in Ireland. 2 deaths, kept it closed. That's how fanatical they are about it. And some of you out there may think it's crazy, but guess what? They're doing something. They're saving lives, dude. We're not. We just killed 900 Americans yesterday. We killed almost 1,000 the day before. I mean, come on. Give me a break. So, yeah, this is something that we've got to take serious, man. And now we'll find out if New York and New Jersey is going to learn from our dumbasses, okay? Because we're complete morons here in Florida. I mean, we are top-notch, okay? So let's see what New York and New Jersey does now that they've flattened it and how they start to bounce back now. That'll be really important to see if they can get it done.
To maintain, you got to kind of keep people out, outsiders out, right? Or if you come in, you got to be quarantined for X amount of, 2 weeks.
Well, no, Bill. It's not just that. I mean, I don't think you can go to that extreme and put people at the state line. I think that's going to be tough for you, but because the other states are open anyway.
Ugh.
So they're not going to be, but the question is, will your people be disciplined? Will they all wear masks? Will they social distance? Will they not have parties? Will they not have get-togethers? Will they not go to, houses to have, all kinds of parties or stuff like that? That's what we're going to find out from New York and New Jersey. They've done an awesome job of leveling it off. Now, what do they do after? Because ours went down, but we never really leveled it off, but we opened and then.
Do you remember the parameters were, there had to be a leveling off and then like 10 days to 14 days of continued decline after the leveling off.
Right.
We never got there.
Well, because we
stuck with the date, and just on that date we're opening, and all the original parameters that were set up for opening weren't adhered to. Bottom line.
Right. We're idiots.
New York and New Jersey, they have stayed the course, and you see where they're at. It's incredible to think where they were and where they're at now.
Yep.
Everybody should take a look.
Alex Diaz is our first of the day with a little super chat. Thank you, Alex.
What?
Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Alex. He says, love the show, guys. My boss has some of us working home in the office, but when we're in the office, our boss is making us wear masks in the office. You got a good boss? You got a boss that is smart, a boss that wants to take care of you guys and wants to keep you around as employees.
You matter. You matter to him. He cares.
And maybe he also doesn't want to get sued. Anyway, but nice job by your boss there, Alex. He's supposed to do that. I'm glad you're wearing a mask too, man. Let's stay safe. I want all of you to stay safe. I want your families to be safe. I want you guys out there for a long, long time. Raging Dolphin Maniac, have you seen Joe Bonamassa's interviews on his YouTube channel? They are awesome. Raging Dolphin Maniac, of course I've seen Joe Bonamassa's interviews. I've also had Joe Bonamassa on the show twice and met him also, hung out with him also backstage. So, yes, I'm a huge Joe Bonamassa fan. Been a Bonamassa fan for a while. Vote for Kanye. Hey, man, you joke. He might be saner than the other two. Okay?
What did you just say, man?
I'm telling you. Kanye might be, he's having a bipolar incident now. That's his family apparently. Now, okay, all kidding aside now, okay? Because, it's easy to make fun of Kanye because he's done a lot of things to make fun of. But I read yesterday where Kanye apparently is going through a bipolar session. And so that's why you saw the whole president stuff and all that. And so apparently the family's concerned and this and that. And, it
sucks. I've been there. You know that, my past good man. Yeah. It is not fun, bro.
And I hate to say this and I hate to be brutally honest about it, but it's not something that any of us are surprised with. Because unfortunately, I don't think any of us really think Kanye's sane as it is. You know what I mean? But the interesting part is he's not the first artist to be insane. In fact, he's in a long list of painters, singers, performers, you name it. They're sometimes that's what makes them what they are as artists. The fact that they can think outside the box. And then they come up with things that you would never think of. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird thing, but it's a characteristic that has been in a lot of famous people over the years. Even a scientist, even scientists that have been known that they were kind of, crazy, but they had, intelligence at a certain level that they were able to do some extraordinary things. So it's, again, not making light of it, but it's, again, not something that I'm surprised at. I don't think most people are when you heard the news of it. Pat in Nashville says Michelle Obama would beat anybody. Yeah, but I think Michelle she's smart enough to know that she doesn't want that job. And Oprah would be the other one that would win that job. In Oprah runs, Biden and Trump get like 10 votes. Okay? That's it. That's all. Well, I shouldn't say that. The racists will vote for Trump. Anybody that's delusional will vote for Biden. So that'll be about 15% of the country. And then 85 will vote for Oprah. But Oprah's too smart. She doesn't want that job. Anybody that actually might be able to do the job wouldn't want that job. Bill Gates wouldn't want that job. Anybody that you would think that would be able to actually do a good job, nah. You like Tom Hanks, like a good dude, he wouldn't want that job. You know what I mean? It's just, there's a whole bunch of them you can come up with that are decent people, and you say, like I told you, Mark Cuban. I like Mark Cuban, actually. Forget about the Heat Dallas crap, all that. Compartmentalized, bro. Put that aside. I like the guy overall. He would never take that job. And I'm sure you guys could come up with some decent people that are, that are influential, and they would do a good job, or at least they are good people. And you would think, okay, at least we got a shot at having a decent human being in the White House to represent us. But then they wouldn't want the job. Who the hell would want that job if you're making money?
That nut you're crazy and stuff reminds me of that movie, Oh God, with George Burns. And he says, everybody thinks I'm a nut. And he's Pasteur, Galileo, Einstein, Columbus. You're in good company, man.
Airman 241 says, I know it's not the entire reason, but have people from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut brought the virus to Florida, Texas, and Arizona? No, man. No. That's minimal. And look, dude, Texas, Florida, and Arizona are stupid people. Say it with me. Amen. What is it? Airman 241. Say it with me, my brother. Okay? Take responsibility. Look in the mirror. Be honest with yourself. We're all going to screw up, man. Okay? I plan on screwing up. Not that I really plan on it, but I kind of expect it since I'm not even close to perfect. But I'll screw up about at least 10 times today. Okay? Didn't I send you like an email of a log or something? Did I do that to you? Did I send you an email I was supposed to send to Sean?
No, you
I thought I did.
Nope.
I thought that
was another person. It was another me.
So then I sent it to somebody. See what I mean? That's already a mistake I made this morning. So let's just, Airmen, let's just be honest with ourselves, okay? I mean, when you watch these idiots that go to these places and they're screaming at the top of their lungs that they don't want to wear a mask, and you see people all over Florida, all over the place hanging out without a mask, that's our fault, dude. And in Texas, they're all a bunch of morons. Remember, the governor of Texas and the governor of Arizona and the governor of Florida have not treated this the right way. They've all downplayed it. Hell, our governor here in Florida, in the middle of this whole thing, he's trying to downplay it because he knows he's doing a crappy job now. Okay? And now he's just like, he's coming up with BS lies to try to cover up for his incompetence. But overall, Airmen, we're the morons. Don't blame New York, dude. Don't point fingers. Okay?
Santa's just following the leader, man.
Right. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, because if you're in a certain party, you have to follow. Cookie Vice, thank you, sir. Appreciate you, my man. Chiming in on a little super chat.
I know that, dude.
Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly!
There you go. Jean-Luc says, Oprah is a hypocrite and not a decent person, i.e. Harvey Weinstein. Why? Because she had Harvey Weinstein on the show or something? She interviewed him? Like, nobody knew what he was doing behind the scenes until people came forward, my brother. Why are you going to blame her for Harvey Weinstein, Jean-Luc? Can't do that, dude. She has nothing to do with that. Did she lead them? What did she do? What the lady was with Epstein? Was she that? Okay, then we can talk. Come on, bro. Harvey Weinstein dealt with everybody in Hollywood, my man. You're talking about one of the biggest players in that business. So it doesn't matter who you were. If you were part of entertainment, you needed to use Harvey Weinstein for something at one point or another. That's ridiculous, man. Oprah's a good person, man. I couldn't disagree with you more. You know, Mike, the man with the cool last name, Jamozeric, says, I'm telling y'all, look at Jo Jorgensen, the Libertarian Party candidate. She'll be on every state ballot, small government, socially liberal, pro-Constitution. Listen, I got to know something about her, and maybe I can, check her out. But it's so hard for an independent to ever win. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really difficult, man. And Airman wants me to be president. No, sir. I got 5 stents in my heart, bro. If I step into the White House, I'm dead within a month or two. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely not.
Have you ever seen the pictures of what the guy looks like when he goes in? And even if he only does 4, not 2 terms, just 1.
Oh, yeah.
What he looks like when he goes out.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you want to talk about age, you, bro.
Yeah, always.
Oh.
Forget age. I'd die.
You've been run through the ringer and back, and let's do it again, and do like 4 ringers.
Big O, after A-Rod and J-Lo buy the Mets, they will run for president. Imagine J-Lo as a first lady. I want her as president. I don't want A-Rod as president. Ugh. Ugh. A-Rod president? Ugh. God. That's terrible. I'd almost want Hillary over A-Rod. That's how bad I think A-Rod is. I think A-Rod's the biggest phony in the world. Oh, I'm all with Black Lives Matter, but I don't see the same support from for the Jewish community bothers me, whereas LeBron, Malcolm Jenkins, and the Eagles are a disgrace. Nothing on Deshaun Jackson. You know, there's a double standard in this country. Reggie White years ago, rest in peace, he came out and, you know, did the whole thing about, well, you know, Asians are really crafty. They can turn a toaster into a watch, you know, and Hispanics are good at family. They can put 50 in a household. And, like, he ripped up every stereotype in the world. Jewish people, they're good with money, you know, and he did, and we used it as a joke. If anybody remembers that, for those of you that have never heard it, go look it up on YouTube. I don't know what it would be titled, but Reggie White addresses the Senate or Congress or whatever, or something like that. And I want you to hear that audio. And if a white person did that, brother, that white person would have been sizzled in those days, okay? But there is a double standard, and I think it's in our country because what we've done with the black community for 400 years, from slavery to abuse to everything else that goes on, there seems to be a double standard that when somebody of the African American community does something that's hateful, it doesn't ever get the same kind of criticism, and it should. And it never gets the criticism from within. Okay? Never. You're hearing a little bit of it now because, again, the environment has changed. But there's always been a double standard with that. Okay? And for whatever reason, it's just manifested itself that way. And it's sad because we killed Drew Brees just for the kneeling comment, which was, again, ignorant, was insensitive. We made him acknowledge it, and he profusely apologized over and over and over again, and so did his wife. And an apology that you can feel that it hurt him. You know what I'm saying? And so we haven't really the fact is Deshaun Jackson hasn't heard enough from his own. And the one thing that this does not help for the black community is you also have to be critical of your own, and you have to make sure your own is also not spewing hate. Because the beautiful thing about the Black Lives Movement right now is that everybody's involved. All races, all colors, all religions, all of it. And there's plenty of Jewish people that are out there protesting for Black Lives Matter. Do you think they feel appreciated when Deshaun Jackson does that? No. So that's when other black leaders in the community need to check him, need to put him in his place, need to actually ostracize his comments and say, that has nothing to do with what we're doing. What Deshaun Jackson just said is wrong at every level. If we're fighting for hate against the black community, how could we then spew hate against the Jewish community? You understand? So the idea is, and I'm pretty consistent about this, I've said we got to fight over all hate. You know what I mean? Because I want to fight it all. I want to fight for Black Lives Movement. I want to fight for anti-Semitism. I want to fight for women. I want to fight for kids. I want to fight for the LGBT community. I want to fight for every minority that's out there, Hispanic, Asian, you name it. Because our battles are many. But Deshaun Jackson does not help. Deshaun Jackson clouds everything. Deshaun Jackson spews ignorance on it all. And he sets the movement back for certain people. Because you bet your ass, okay? You can bet your ass that people, Jewish people all over, from Sea to shining sea, baby. Saw those comments and said, oh, hell no. Hell no. You know, I was on yesterday. I did an interview yesterday with Mark Lillibridge on his podcast. And I think we were on like for a half hour. We were talking about all kinds of issues. And one of them I mentioned to him because that Deshaun Jackson stuff came up. And I said, look, man, I can give it to you from experience. I'm not Jewish, but I'm Cuban. And I can tell you, you're never going to find a Cuban that will accept Colin Kaepernick ever again. And guess what? Every Cuban is right to just absolutely fry Colin Kaepernick and never have him in their minds, support them, believe in him, nothing. Second you wear a Castro shirt, you're done, dude. The second you mention Hitler and you're using Hitler in any way, shape, or form to make a point, to shed something that you think is positive, everyone in the Jewish community should fry your ass. I don't mean like electric chair. I'm talking about like you're out of my memory bank. You're out of my mind. You're done, dude. I don't even want to hear from you ever again. You know what I mean? And every Cuban is justified to hate Kaepernick, to never, ever deal with that dude again. And every Jewish person on the planet from here on out is more than entitled to hate the hell out of Deshaun Jackson. Okay? When you start elevating people that kill millions, that's unacceptable. These are tyrants. These are some of the worst pieces of crap to ever walk this earth. And they are not to be held in any kind of regard. That's what we're going through in our country right now. We're taking down statues of slave owners. So if Deshaun Jackson is proud that the country's moving forward, taking down statues of people that kept a race of people down, well, dude, you can't go elevating somebody that killed 6 million Jews. Can't do it. You can't want to eliminate hate against you and then start spreading it against somebody else.
Major hypocrite.
Yeah. That's it. And it shows that either your hate or your ignorance, either one cannot be accepted. Hell, Farrakhan thinks the Holocaust didn't even happen. Guy's an anti-Semite, a proven anti-Semite. That's like that. It's like checkmate with Hitler, right? And then you throw in Farrakhan. Well, let me also just knock your king too at the same time. Let me just do both. Not only is it checkmate, I'm also going to knock your king right in front of your face. You really don't do that normally in chess. Maybe the opponent, after he loses, twists the king, but you won't do that. You will here. If you're Jewish, like, dude, Hitler, checkmate. And your king, Farrakhan, get the hell out of here. Every Jewish person in the planet should be livid, should be just absolutely on fire right now. Pissed. Come on, man. Have some sensitivity. By the way, I did not break and I took a whole hour. Is that correct?
You're technically 10 minutes short.
Oh, because I started 10 minutes late.
But you did adhere to that 45-minute must, at least one segment per show. You've already met that criteria, brother.
John Rouse is in the house. Myron Sanchez again, also with the super chat. Rouse with the super chat. And he gives us I'd never seen these stickers with the fist pumping. I like it. That's pretty cool. That's a good one. Thank you, Johnny.
You know, John had aspirations of showing up at Hialeah last week to hang out with us. And another one I found out.
Why didn't he go?
Because we got canceled. I called him up and said, hey, man.
Would have been funny if he shows up and
you know who else I talked to? Mike No Go Zone. And he was actually on his way to Hialeah, and heard it over the radio.
Oh,
That
okay.
Hialeah got, because he was going to come out as well.
There you go. Sorry, guys. Sorry, man. But, hey, listen, we'd love to see you guys out here. John, thank you. And Julius305 also with a super chat.
Wow. Recent research has shown
Super chat.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
Julius305 says, keeping up with the Myrons. Oh, you watching the fight tomorrow? Of course I'm watching the fight, man. I don't know how he's going to I mean, I'm obviously pulling for Masvidal because he's a Miami kid. But how he loses 20 pounds in less than 2 weeks and he's got to fight, that's – and I know they do this often, but how you lose that much weight in such a short time and still have the energy to take another man out, okay? It's not the enough energy to go to work for me or you or somebody else. Masvidal could easily do that, but step into an octagon against a great champion and beat him, dude, this is going to be I have to see this. I have to see this. That's so, Julius, it's added more to it because of it. Okay?
Supposedly, he's still got double digits to go. They were talking about 10 or 15 pounds still for tomorrow. What do you do? Cut off a couple toes?
I've seen, how they do it and all that stuff, and they're in like a hot tub. And they got like all kinds of stuff that makes them sweat and all that. Oh man, it's some painful stuff, man.
Back in the day, Optimus, kids making weight, man. Garbage bags and sweat bin, just run around, run the field, go get on the, strip down, get on the scale. Nah, I got to get loaded back up with all the stuff and go run around. That's back in the day.
Yeah.
Wrestling, another one, same situation. That weight thing.
Yeah, but that's not real. Mike says, let's not forget that Abraham Lincoln ran as third-party candidate and Republicans were a third party at one time. Change doesn't occur quickly. It does take enough people being fed up with the status quo. I'm with you, Mike. Only problem is that was 700 years ago. Things have changed, and here's the other thing, Mike. 85% of our country is lazy. 85% of the people that are voting Democrat or Republican, they have no idea what they're voting. They're just party zombies. They just, I'm Republican, so I'm voting for whatever Republican is there. I'm Democrat. I'm voting for anything that's Democrat. They don't really know anything about their candidates. They don't really know about their policies. They don't really know about what they really stand for or they don't. They don't really know about what they've done in prior, elections with where they've been and what their history is. We are so misinformed in this country and we're so lazy. I'll give you an example. It happens to me all the time on Twitter. I'll post a segment and I'll put the title. The title's a teaser. The title doesn't give you everything, right? But then, and I know it, right? I post it, right? And I always love doing this. I post it, and within a minute or two, there's a reaction. And it's completely off because they went on the headline. And the headline really is never the whole story. It's just kind of a teaser to tell you to click in so you can then hear what we're going to say. But the person assumes what's going to be said is completely off. And I love it because I always come back to them and I said, listen, I get it. In typical America, you guys never read the fine print. You never actually listen to the story. You never read the article. You just go off a headline. Now that you're completely wrong, next time, listen to what was said. Then you can react on it. And then they get pissed at me. But it's kind of I have to kind of show them and be brutal and show them the hard lesson that stop being effing lazy. Okay? And that's the problem also in our country. And that's why most people that vote for a candidate have no idea because they've never taken the time to read. They've never taken the time to find out about that candidate. All they know that on their voters registration says Democrat, so I'm a party zombie and I'm going to vote Democrat. And I'm a party zombie and I'll vote Republican. That's all, man. So that's where we're at, Mike. And it's so for an independent to win, it has to be a star. It has to be somebody that can bring real attention. Like, remember when we were talking about Oprah and all that? They would have to run like independents. You know, people like that, Mark Cuban, whatever, anybody that you could come up with that's, you know, in business or famous in entertainment that might be good people. And you think, you know what? At least I'd rather vote for this human being over the crap that we're about to put in office. You know what I'm saying? So that's our problem there. Let's see, what else do we have here?
Oh, when I was talking wrestling, I was talking Roman Greco Olympic weights, not the Mickey Mouse WWE. I'm talking about high school, that Roman Greco real, you know, and it's weight class, like boxing, same principle. Right. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And those guys, yeah, man, that's dude, cut a toe off. Yeah. You'll lose, you know, you can't lose any more weight.
Yeah.
You know?
Draco says 8 years of Obama didn't kill America. He had his flaws, but he was also stymied by Republicans. Oh, please. He wasn't great either. He's a cool dude. I like him. Good person. Like him. I like his wife. But he ran the deficit up at 3 times the rate faster than Bush Jr. Trump's killing what Obama did. His unemployment record was terrible, especially for blacks. You know, Obama was a good dude and all that, but he wasn't a great president either. You know, that's, you know, it's, again, it all depends on how you want to look. I don't look at it as a Democrat, and I don't look at it as a Republican. I look at it objectively, and I'll tell you what it is. You know, I like the guy personally. Looks like a cool cat, but he wasn't, you know, and when you say, oh, well, the stock market was at 8,000 when he took over. That's the only way it could go is up. It was going to go up either way. You know, but he didn't do great for the deficit. He didn't do great for unemployment. I mean, there's a bunch of things that he could have done different that would have helped out. And
it's hard to do when you got a Republican House and Senate, man.
Whatever, bro. You
know, not whatever. That's the fact.
It's still a pain in the ass one way or another. You're never going to have it your way, whoever is in office. You know, look at
if you have control of both houses, you will.
Look at Clinton. Clinton actually was the best at the deficit since I've been voting. It stayed even for the entire time.
Oh, we got rebate checks a couple years.
Nobody had ever done that. You know, you'd have to go back so far that I wasn't even around. You know, but I'm just saying. And yet he did a whole bunch of other things that were just absolutely terrible. You know, it's just whatever, bro. You know, people could spin it however they want. I haven't seen a good president on the Democrat or the Republican side in forever, dude. So, and none of them that I would actually say, oh, I got to have them. That's the person. That's the guy. That's the perfect candidate. They've all had flaws, man. You know, Jean-Luc sends it in. He gives us a little love on the Super Chat.
What the hell?
Super Chat.
That took guts. We need guts.
I told you I can totally...
Super Chat.
So you think you got what it takes?
You have no skills.
This is permanent.
Good job.
I'm promoting you.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
Take pride in that.
There we go, Jean-Luc. Although no message, but we love you, Jean-Luc, there. Thank you, my man. David says Twitter and Facebook have become the prime news source for 70% of the population. Instant gratification society. Why bother reading 2 or 3 minutes or 10-minute op-eds from credible sources to form opinions? That's why, dude. Some make promises and some don't remember their promise. Most of them don't. Most of them never live up to any of their promises. Every president is pretty much like that. Don't think for 1 minute all these Hollywood stars avoid politics because the country's a mess. Truth is, they don't want their dirt exposed as well. Of course, dude. You are 1,000% right, George. 1,000% right. Yeah, definitely.
You have a officially touched the 1 hour mark, my brother.
All right, let's do that. Since it's 1 hour on the air without a break, let's take a break. You guys mind if I give my voice a little rest here? An hour straight. Do you ever get that on QAM or on 7? I doubt that, right? You can't get an hour straight of talk. It's impossible. Well, they need like 3 people in order to do it. Back with more.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Robert Triana says, damn, it's hot. Yeah.
I would just like to say, the shade, thank the Lord for the shade, right? I mean, because we were out there in the sun, literally. You just bring like some Spam, spray it, and you'd cook. Literally, you would cook.
I think we may have to start bringing our tent and then add the AC inside of it and start cranking it up that way, bro. It was 103 in Orlando yesterday. Well, right now it feels like 103 in my shorts. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. We're coming to you live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We're out here every Friday having some fun, so come on by and say hi. Larry Schlossberg and the boys, they will take care of you. So come on out here. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. If you're looking for an Acura vehicle, there is no better place out here, man. They've been kicking everybody's butt in the Southeast United States now for 12 years, okay? #1 volume sales dealership when it comes to Acuras over the last 12 years, man. That is in the Southeast. That is just absolutely amazing. Let's see. What else do we have here? Robert Triana sends in a little super chat. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you, my man. Very nice. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. So, did you see the NFL yesterday? They came up with very interesting new rules. They don't want players to socialize after games. They don't want them switching jerseys. Okay? And so and it's now, look, I don't blame them for putting out these rules. Let me first be brutally honest here, okay? It makes all the sense in the world, but it's just funny that you've got a bunch of guys that are going to be hitting each other for 60 minutes, sweating, breathing on each other, all of that, and all of a sudden we're going to be worried about the end of the game when they're talking, the end of the game when they switch jerseys? Really? That's where we're going. And I get it. That sweat-filled jersey, if you have COVID, there's COVID on it. Totally understand, totally get it, all of that. But if you're so worried about them, then why do you have them playing football? I mean, seriously, you're letting them go home, you're letting them go out, you're not having them in a bubble. They're socializing with friends and family members after practice, after games. Then they're going back to the facility. What do you think's going to happen? So COVID is rampant all over this country. We had 61,000 cases yesterday. We lost nearly 900 Americans yesterday. We've lost nearly 2,700 Americans in the last 3 days. Okay? It is worse now than it was 4 months ago. Here in South Florida, we've got 4 times the amount of ICU beds used now than we were in March. So you're going to worry about at the end of the game, after 60 minutes of just sweat and disgust all throughout that field, and they're spreading that COVID all over the place, but let's not switch jerseys. Hey, come on, man. If you're really worried about their health, if you're really worried about the game, you would table the game till next year. Okay? Since you can't bubble the entire NFL, and look, we all understand you can't bubble them. I mean, think about keeping all of those people in one place. It's impossible. That's a lot of people. And the other thing I keep wanting to remind college football and the NFL, most all of your coaches, man, they're old. Your trainers are old. Sure, there's some young guys sprinkled in, but there's a lot of old coaches. So you're going to throw them all with those players out there. It's not a good combination, man. So we're worried about them changing jerseys or, hey, I can't talk to you after the game, but I can tackle your ass for 4 quarters.
That reminds me of...
Wait a minute, hold on. You know that there's going to be piles, right? And you know when they tackle a guy, the guy that's on top of the guy that got tackled, he's going to look at him and go, hey, how's some COVID for you? He's going to breathe all over him. He's going to spit all over him. Okay? That's what's going to happen. Guaranteed. I mean, these people are brutal, dude. Okay? They stick fingers in every orifice in your body trying to spit that ball out. You're holding onto the ball and you got fingers trying to penetrate all your orifices. Yes, that happens under the pile. You think those guys, for fun, are going to be breathing on each other? Come on, man. Oh, and by the way, do we get a 15-yard personal flag? Breathing on a player. Wait a minute, but we've been doing that on every snap. Yeah. Yeah, they're really concerned about the player's safety.
You ever heard the Joker analogy? The lady's sitting there and the guy's got all these cows and he's trying to get them up the trough and he's got a whip and she walks over and she's yelling at him, stop beating up those cows and blah, blah, blah. So he stops and he pushes them up. They get in. You know where they're going? The slaughterhouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. Ray Grulong chiming in on a little super chat. Thank you, Ray.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chat.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. He says, thank you for a great week. Oh, sent you the Mandalorian video last night. Can't wait for season 2. I saw it. I answered back, my brother. and I loved it. It was really cool watching him play all the instruments and playing the tune. And I'm with you, man. I can't. I think it's October, I believe, is when the season 2 of The Mandalorian. Can't wait for that, man. That is going to be absolutely awesome. Mandalorian is better than those crappy movies Disney's put on by far. Oh yeah, the and it's done really well, man. That's the thing. That's the only thing that I was concerned about. Will they maintain that standard? And they maintained it. It was awesome. Love The Mandalorian, man.
Have you seen the talk about supposedly Lucas taking back over the Star Wars thing and them kind of pulling those last 3 that were done, like, and pulling them off the trilogy and redoing them? Lucas doing it?
No.
Yeah, I've read a couple articles. There is supposedly talk.
He doesn't own it anymore.
Well, they're talking about actually him getting back involved because whatever yes,
Did you see what he did with the other 3? Nah, it's all right. Hey, bro, remember I told you, it's possible for people to lose their fastball. Okay? All right? And George Lucas lost his fastball with those 3. He did. He was awesome with the first 3. The next 3 he came out with, those characters had no personality. I mean, I still enjoy watching it because I'm a Star Wars geek, but I will admit they're not even close to the other 6. They're not even close to Rogue One, dude. Okay?
Rogue One is probably next to Empire Strikes Back. Those are 1, 2.
Rogue One kills all 3 of those put together. Darth Sith and all those other, whatever those things are called, I forgot. But you know what I'm talking about.
Phantom Menace, you're talking about the first 3.
Yeah, all of those 3.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, he lost his fastball, bro. No. Disney's doing just fine. You know? It's fine. My daughter and I love watching that together. Well done. There you go. Rogue One was good, yes, but besides that was SJW trash, and I'm left with leaning independent. I don't blame you, right? Because we do have 2 crappy candidates, right? I mean, Biden's brutal, dude. And Trump, I mean, it is what it is already. You watched it. So, yeah, we're screwed, bro. It doesn't matter. We're screwed. Seriously. We're just so screwed. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Oh, wow, I just saw we added 11,433 cases in Florida. Look at that. Nice. Way to go. Wow. All right, that's how it flies, right? Be safe out there, folks. Please be safe, man. You're around people, wear that damn mask. Please wear that mask. Since the Brady rule, defenders have been breathing on Tom Brady, and it's gotten a 15-yard penalty. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Breathe on Brady in Tampa. I can go with that. Did you guys see Rajon Rondo? You know Rondo's been known to be just a horse's ass throughout his career, right? He's been known to be a jerk. So he tweeted out he tweeted out a picture of his room at the NBA, what's it called? Bubble. And it's actually a nice room. I mean, if you look at it, there's nothing wrong with the room, dude. It's a solid room. Looks good. He labeled it a Motel 6. And listen, if Motel 6s were like that, you wouldn't have to leave the light on. It'd be packed every single time. No, you guys see more reflection of cars than you do the room. I just noticed that when I showed you the room. It's a little because of the reflection from the light. You got to see the parking lot there where the certified vehicles are, certified used vehicles. Anyway, so the room is a nice room. Okay? I'm not telling you it's a presidential suite or anything like that, but it's a really nice room, clean, nice bed, table, everything. I don't know if he has to do any work or whatever, but, he takes a picture. What is it about Rondo that he is like a professional asswipe. You know, I don't know what it is about that guy, but it's like he goes out of his way to be an absolute jerk. Why try to make the league look bad? Dude, if you don't want to be there for the restart, then say no. You've made plenty of money. You got a championship ring. It's not like you have to be there. But if you want to be a jerk about it, and listen, there's a lot of people that's where they stay is Motel 6, and they can tell you that's not a Motel 6. And most people would be more than satisfied to stay in that room. I don't know what it is about Rondo, but he likes to be a professional jerk. You know? Mike says, Biden and Trump, it's choosing between two ends of the same turd. Oh, man. Best score, Phantom Menace, Duel of the Fates. That was a good fight. You're right. You're right. I can't argue with that one. That was a good fight. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Speaking of Corona, you saw what happened at WPLG? 10 people or 9 people, 9 employees have tested positive for COVID. Did you see that? Where? At Channel 10. Louis Aguirre got it. They said Nicole Perez, who's an anchor, and her reporter husband, Roy Ramos, and anchor Louis Aguirre all tested positive. They didn't give the names for the other people, which they don't have to, and you know what? They shouldn't, man. I mean, those people have enough things to deal with. They don't need to have everybody else in their damn business. But they have 147 employees there at PLG. So now I would imagine everybody now has to get tested. Everybody now, I don't know if they're going to quarantine. Well, I'm sure they're going to have to quarantine the people that were in contact with them throughout the last few days since they tested. Perez told the station that she's feeling cold-like symptoms and has felt run down. She says she's concerned about her husband, who has experienced more severe symptoms, including painful coughing and shaking. It's crazy. Aguirre says he's feeling no symptoms and has taken a second test because he believes his first test may have been a false positive. Let's hope it is a false positive, but again, this shows you how this thing, man, this ain't a game, man. And people want to look at this and they want to downplay it, and I don't get how they want to downplay this thing. Renee Lopez in the house. Hey, could the NFL push back the season till January? What are the issues involved that we don't know with pushing back the season? Well, I don't think it would be that much of an issue to push it back. It would delay everything else. Now, let's walk through this because I'm glad you brought that up, Renee, because I actually have a note. I wanted to talk a little bit about that because you've got now the Ivy League pushing to the spring, correct? So now, eventually, the SEC, the Big Ten, and all of them, the ACC, they will follow suit and they'll do it because they're going to find out that they're going to lose so much money and then they're going to risk so much more money by starting and stopping, okay? So they're better off just putting it off. So if the NFL can do the same thing, listen to me now, okay? If the NFL could delay along with college football, everything would be better. Let me explain. If it's only college football going to the spring and the NFL tries to run a fall schedule and they keep everything on time, when you get to the spring, all the top college players will not play because they got to get ready for the draft and they're going to risk injury and they're not going to do it. So college football loses its sexiness. But if you delay the NFL also to next year in January, February, along with college football, and you get to a point where you have a vaccine, boom, everybody goes out there. Now you can have a full college football season, a full NFL season, and then when they're both over, you can then go through the college process of the draft. You can even have your bowl games. and then have the draft in the summer. You can push it back a little bit, and you can have the draft and then start going into the training camps if you want to do all of that. You know, that might be the way you go about this. But if college football is delayed to the spring and the NFL isn't, college football is going to get ruined next year or this season. This season's college football, you'll lose all the top players. Now, and you will, here's another thing to think about with college football that a lot of people won't think about. So you lose your top players in the spring, all right? Follow me on this. So now that means a lot of your juniors and sophomores and some of your freshmen are going to play. And it also means that they've got to carry an entire college football season, have a very short off season, and start again in the fall. So now you put the weight of that's why if the NFL and college football go hand in hand, wait till the beginning of next year, hopefully you have a vaccine and you can start. You can now have your seniors play, all the top juniors play, college is sexy, and everything is normal, and you don't put a burden on your younger guys who then have to turn it around and come back right away, which, as you all know, that's going to risk even more injury. Man, this is a really screwed up situation, you know? And forcing the issue, I think, is just going to cause, like we have here in Florida. We forced it. We forced it to be open. We wanted to be open. We want to get back to work. We got to pay bills. Okay, great. But can we do it responsibly? No. And now look what's going to happen. Look at everything that's going on. We have to cut back on businesses again. So now we're holding businesses out even longer, which is almost impossible for them to survive. And if you would have shut down the hard way the first time and stay at it until you squash that thing, and then you can reopen, we would have been a lot better off. But because we opened while it's still going on, we allowed the spread to go, and we were irresponsible. And this is why we're probably not going to have football. But they need to think about this because they have a way of at least making it better for everybody if you hold it off to next year. If you try to force it in college and the NFL this year, I think you're going to create havoc. And how about this? Anybody thought about this? How about some of the NFL players who end up picking up COVID and pick up a problem permanently, and they lose out in their career? How about a college football player that picks up COVID and then gets something permanent from that COVID and no longer can go to the NFL? Got to be careful, folks. This is a dangerous thing. Myron says, I'm having a call back today with YouTube to fix my problem on my name account. They will find who blocked my account, and they told me they will delete and ban whoever did it. How do they do that? That's weird, right? How can somebody else do that, Myron? That's weird, because you know I didn't do it. So, I don't know. It's crazy. Sorry about that, my brother. Rosendo goes, good to hear, Myron. Must have been the Russians. You guys are a trip. So, there you go. I just think there's a lot of layers to it, man. There really is. Oh, we got to take a break. Michelle Kaufman will join us. We're going to talk a little football with her next.
This is the Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We are back. Time to talk a little football, and we love doing it, of course, with Michelle Kaufman. She is bubbled up and following the team out there in Orlando after their 2-1 defeat, which was absolutely depressing for me. You can follow her, by the way, on Twitter at Kauf Sports and catch her exceptional work every single day at the Miami Herald website, or, of course, at your doorstep, which would be completely classic. And that's a beautiful thing, and we
Except
love
for
that.
on Saturdays. My parents, on Saturdays, they don't
Except
deliver.
Saturday.
Yep, my parents
Digital
don't.
Saturday.
Yes. No Saturday.
Digital Saturday. Okay.
All right, a digital Saturday. I love it. So, first of all, Michelle, thank you for joining us. Talk to us about your experience, first of all, in approaching the coverage of all of this.
Yeah, well, I'm actually back. I went up for the opening game. It was very unusual, to say the least. So they only allowed 12 media members total who are not, ESPN. So anyone who's, ESPN people are inside the bubble. But for the rest of the media, there were only 12 people that were allowed to cover the game. We had to pass an online health screening in the morning of the game. And then when we got to the game, we had to have a temperature check. And actually, I failed the temperature check 5 times before I passed, which was very stressful. I think my temperature was going up each time I failed, because what happened is when I got to the complex, it's a complex that I know very well, the ESPN Wide World of Sports, because my daughter played soccer 14 years, and so she has played probably 100 games at that facility. So I know the facility well, but the way it's configured now is very abnormal because the MLS bubble is there and the NBA is also there. So they have the whole complex split in half with barricades everywhere. One half is NBA, one half is MLS. So anyway, where I parked, I tried to go in this one gate, and they told me that was the wrong place, that I had to walk all the way around to the other side of the complex, which is, about a half-mile walk. And then when I got over there, they said no, that I was supposed to get my temperature checked back in the other spot where I originally was. So by the time I got back, I had already walked, close to a mile in 90-degree heat and humidity. And, so when I got there, I guess maybe my temperature was a little bit high. I don't know. I'm feeling totally fine, but I failed. You have to scan your credential on this thing on a machine, and then you stand in front of this black square. And if you're lucky, it says it goes ding and it's green. It says access granted. What happened to me was it went red, access denied.
Oh.
So I was like, oh my God. So anyway, a few other reporters also got the red flag. But after a couple of tries, they got in. For me, the other thing I discovered was that I'm a little shorter. Everybody else were men that were going in. They were all taller. And so this medic came over and said to me, oh, maybe because the machine is the whatever it is, what do I want to call this? Not radar, but the sensor. The sensor was apparently not hitting the right part of my forehead. So he told me to stand on my tippy toes. And when I stood on my tippy toes, then I got green, access granted. So anyway, it was a little bit of a stressful moment just to even get into the freaking game. Then once we got there, they did have a very nice setup for us. I mean, all things considered, each reporter, we were outside under a tent. Every reporter had their own 6-foot table, like a 6-foot folding table that you would have like a banquet table when you're having something at your house. Each one of us had one of those tables with a fan on it. And we sat, each one of those tables was like spaced 2 feet apart to the next one, to the next one. So there were 6 in the front row and 6 in the second row, each person with a giant table and a fan. We had to wear our mask, from the minute we got out of our car to the minute we got back in the car, we had to wear a mask. So to cover the game, I was wearing a mask the whole time. So, it was very different. Even the photographers, who normally sit on the field, the regular photographers, they had to be also behind the barricade because the way they have it set up, everything that's inside the bubble is with barricades all the way around. So, like, you're not allowed to even walk in the areas where the players and the coaches and the staff are. We are completely outside the bubble. So everything is very, very strict and very careful. And, obviously Dallas and Nashville, they arrived there with the virus, and it spread within their team within about 2 days of arrival. A couple of guys tested positive upon arrival, and then, 8 guys or whatever, both teams, FC Dallas and Nashville, both had to go home. So the tournament will go on with 24, with 24 teams. But, it's being run very well. The players say that within the bubble they feel safe, that everybody's walking around with masks on, all their food is being served at the hotel. I mean, as long as everybody behaves and doesn't try to sneak out or doesn't try to sneak somebody in or whatever, and, I have to say it was nice to watch a sporting event. It was nice to actually watch a live sporting event. It wasn't beautiful, but, and the injury to Andres Reyes was very scary. It was right in front of where I was. But I have to say it was nice to be doing something other than watching charts of COVID cases, which is basically what all of us are doing every day, is looking at the numbers, the charts. Oh my God. And it's, it's enough to really mess with your mental health. So for at least 90 minutes, I was covering a sporting. That adrenaline of having to cover a game on deadline was really fun for me. It's something that I haven't done in 4 months after 30 years of doing this. So, in a way it was wonderful. In a way it was very strange.
Yeah, I can imagine. But I was at the stadium doing the broadcast, and it was just great to be able to call the game and watch a sport. And it was just so cool to be able to have that experience again. Lord knows we needed it for our mental psyche to have a little bit of that, normalcy to all of it. First of all, can you give us an update on the injury to Reyes and how is he?
Yeah. Well, what happened was he sort of caught an elbow to a part of his throat, and, he was really having trouble breathing, which is why he was convulsing there. And honestly, they took way too long to get the stretcher there. Part of the reason, to be honest with you, is because they have all these barricades set up. I actually saw the ambulance was arriving, and they had all these barricades and all these things set up that the medics had to come through to even get on the field. So I don't know who didn't think of this when they, they're so intent on being safe from anybody entering the bubble. but they have to be able to have an ambulance enter the bubble in case of an emergency. So I'm sure they learned from that situation. It took a little bit too long, in my estimation, for that player to be writhing on the ground, having trouble breathing.
Well, and listen, thank the Lord, one of the inner players actually helped out. If it wasn't
two guys,
yeah,
2 guys from the Inter Miami. I think it was Agogo and Pellegrini.
Yes.
2 players were actually dragging pulling the stretcher. 2 players who are in the game are pulling the stretcher onto the field. Which is really unacceptable.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was examined. They took him to the hospital, and he was examined at the hospital, evaluated. He did not spend the night at the hospital. He ended up going back to the hotel. He had to go into an isolation area because once you leave the bubble, you have to then be retested for COVID to come back in. But he was going to rejoin the team as soon as he passed his COVID test. And they're going to evaluate him and monitor him. But he was doing much better. He was in good spirits. It was just, a very scary moment there. Wherever it is that they caught him in the throat, he was having a hard time breathing, and that was really scary.
I got to tell you something. Where I was pissed with the referees in that game because Dwyer had 4 penalties in that first half. He was dirty, and
yes.
2 of those hits deserved cards. I could argue. And the referee,
well, did you see?
The referee could have sent, but he should have sent the message in the first half. And maybe because the twisted part is that wasn't the worst hit by Dwyer the entire night. The one on Reyes. But yet it's the one that led to the serious injury. But maybe he doesn't play nearly as physical because that's who he is. We kind of know
Well, I don't know.
That's his game.
I don't know if you saw the quotes. The quotes from Luis Robles were very strong after the game, and you know that he's a very measured, careful guy when he speaks. But he was pissed, okay, and he said that everyone knows that that's the type of player he is. He's very physical, and he said, "Look, I have respect for him. He scored a lot of goals on me. I respect his game and everything." But he said that with a player like that, the referee has to set the tone early, and that the Inter Miami players had complained to the referee several times in the first half, and the ref just kept saying, "No, that wasn't a foul. No, that was soft. That was soft. That was soft." And Robles strongly disagreed with that and said, and rightly so, that it really completely impacted the game because what happened is you lose, one of your starting defenders, so that's A, of course. B, the team got a little bit derailed there after that. Everybody was very nervous and scared. They had to settle down a little bit, so Orlando City then ties. And then after that, they get 9 minutes of injury time, which is when they scored the winning goal. So, not to make excuses, but it did have a major impact on the game. I do wonder if that injury doesn't happen at that moment and Inter Miami is up 1-0 at that point, maybe they tie it up. I have a hard time believing that Orlando would have scored 2 goals and won the game. I think Orlando got the win largely because of that injury. So I'm sure Orlando may not feel that way, but that's the way it looked to me. That it did have a major, major impact on the game.
Yeah, no, and you could tell it took the wind out of their sails after that injury. They just weren't the same team.
Right.
And there's a part of me that I got to tell you, Michelle, I thought they were the more physical team, Orlando, throughout. And
yes, they were.
And I thought Miami did not. And they went into that game with 5 yellow cards and 2 reds. So they already were playing. I don't know if Coach Alonso was kind of, maybe harped on it throughout the week, like, hey, we got to play smart. Let's not, get too many cards. But I think they needed to play a little bit more physical with Orlando. And I think they allowed them to kind of, set
dictate
the tone. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Even my mom, who is, she's my mom. She's not like the biggest soccer, she does, she watches, but I'm saying, she's my mom.
I gotcha.
And she called me, I called her on my drive back from Orlando because she always has commentary on the game and I love to hear what she says. And she says to me, in Spanish, because we're Cuban, she says, Michelle, esos niños se tienen que poner los pantalones, okay? Those boys have to put their pants on. She's like, if I were the coach, I would have done it there in the halftime, and I would say, "Ponte los pantalones, muchachos." Okay. She said that she felt that the Inter Miami players were too soft, and she's like, they were playing more like gentlemen, and this is not a gentleman's game. This is soccer, and it's physical, and those other guys were knocking them around. And I mean, that was my mom, who's not an expert by any means. Her main impression to me when I asked her, "What did you think of the game?" She went on for 10 minutes about how the Inter Miami players were too soft and they need to put their pants on. So, that's my mom. Okay. So if she saw that, I think there's probably some validity to it, that they need to, they really need to be aggressive. They need to step up. And the other thing is I really think that they were missing Pizarro in the starting lineup.
Yes.
I was shocked.
Yes.
I was shocked that he didn't start. I didn't know what was happening. And they said, "Oh no, because, he had a little injury during the week, whatever." And, so the coach decided not to start him. But then when he came in the second half, I thought he had an immediate impact. And also Lee Wen, I don't know if it's just me. I like the way that guy plays,
I agree.
I liked how he played in preseason. And, and I liked, in fact, he and Pizarro in preseason in the game in St. Pete, I don't know if it's the game you were at or the other game, but those two connected on a goal on Pizarro's first game, when he had been in the game for 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a beautiful combination play between those two. And so, I don't know, I think Lee Wen is a really crafty, smart, aggressive player who's creative and can do stuff. And I'm not sure why he doesn't start. I like when he comes in. I think he adds something to the offense. And Pizarro, too. I mean, those two, to me, came in and made a difference that I think if they had that from the start of the game, maybe they would have played better. But, I think the first half, both teams, it's a long layoff to not play a game for 4 months. On top of that, all the distractions. There were so many distractions. And, I think the first half of the game was just two teams that were rusty and distracted and trying to get back into the zone. And, the second half, we saw more of what I think those two teams are. And, the injury, unfortunately, really affected Miami.
I think if you think as a coach, and we were talking about this in the pre and post, and I think, Gwynn is in his mid-30s. So maybe 4-month layoff, hey, I don't want to put him out there and play him 90. I think eventually they get him to that point that he's in the starting lineup, because I agree with you, and we all agree, Thomas Rongen, Chris Whittingham, Alex Donald, myself, that he is a glue guy. He's one of those guys you really need out there, and I think they wanted to condition him and maybe get him to that point. That's why he brought him off the bench. But you're right, and I think the coach will see he's too valuable to bring him off the bench. I need him in there right away. And then for Pizarro, we were talking about this, and I was talking about this with Thomas Rongen. I go, Thomas, you are an athlete. Sometimes they got to protect you from you. And so maybe he got dinged up, but he's telling him, no, I could go. And they're like, you know what, dude, you're our star. We're going to pace you. And then that's what they did, and they brought him off the bench. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just because, and you and I have covered sports forever. So I'm just saying that those could be the things behind the scenes with those two guys in that scenario. But I think it'll change now on Tuesday. And by the way, they got a small break. Instead of playing at 9 a.m, now you're playing late at night. Now you've got the whole day also to recover also. So that's
unfortunately though, but they also have a harder draw now though, because they were going to play. They were going to play Chicago and Philly, and now they're playing Philly and NYCFC. So that's a little bit of a tougher draw for them.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And on a positive, I thought Agudelo, is a guy that they really need him to step up. And I thought Matias also showed me a lot. That kid's 20. I love Pellegrini, man.
Yeah, he's young. Reyes is 22.
Yeah.
They're both 20 years old, very young guys.
Yeah, but for Agudelo
I thought Carranza was going to come. I mean, I haven't seen him, but they raved about him before his injury, and they said he's ready to go, but he didn't see the light of day.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, there were some positives in it. It's just, you're dying to see that win now, and now, Michelle, they're really in a must-win situation on Tuesday.
Yeah, they have to win on Tuesday. They really do have to win on Tuesday. Yeah. They do. Well, they're going to have Roman Torres back. They will not have, Robbie Robinson is out for the tournament, and that's a shame. because he was really a promising player too.
I like him.
And he did well in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
So that's, they're going to miss him, but Roman will be back. He's a big, strong, imposing guy with, veteran player who knows Philadelphia, knows all the other opponents and everything. So I don't know. We'll see. I know they're very fired up. I mean, after that loss, they're super motivated. They were very, very down. Coach Diego Alonso, I have never seen him like that. He was very short with his answers. I mean, you could tell he just did not want to be in the press conference. They cut it short, actually. There were a bunch of people with their hands up on Zoom. That's the other thing. We had to do all our interviews by Zoom. We had no interaction at all with the players. Coach came on and he had, a really sad face, even though he was behind a mask, you could still tell. And he answered every question with like 2 words, I actually asked the first question and I said, can you please give us an update on Reyes? How's he doing? What's happening with him? Did he go to the hospital? And his answer was, I have no update. That was it. I have no update. Just like, every single question he was asked, he answered like in 3 words. He was pissed. He was like down. He was pissed. He was whatever. And finally the PR director said, okay, well, we're just going to cut this off and we're going to switch over to our players now to Luis Robles and Agudelo, because the coach was in no mood to talk after that game.
Yeah.
And he had not been that way. The first 2 games, even though they lost, the first 2 games, he was, very not happy, but I mean, he went to the interviews and answered all the questions and was very analytical and talking more about the tactics and this and that, which he loves to talk about tactics. But this time he was just like, get me the hell out of this press conference. He did not want to be there.
Michelle, it wasn't that they played a bad game, but they had really bad defensive lapses that really were the difference in that game at times. And then not whether it was a score or it gave Orlando incredible opportunities like the turnover at midfield, stuff like that. Stuff like that really turned the game for them, and that's what I think was in his Pizarro, man, in that game-winning goal. He's got to feel like crap because he's fighting with Nani for position, and the ball goes off his shin pretty much, and that was kind of the assist to the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That poor man must not have slept for 2 nights straight. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell that when it ricocheted off his leg, he was trying to sprint to get to it because he knew deep down inside, oh my God, this is over right here. And I felt terrible for Pizarro in that situation.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Let's talk again. I'm covering off TV. Mm-hmm. The next 2 group games I'm doing off TV because there's no advantage for me being there because we have no access to anything. I went because I wanted to describe the scene and feel it and see it and smell it and, hear it. But I will go back if they can stick around to the playoff round, to the knockout round, then I'll head back up to Orlando. Yeah.
Let's hope so. All right. And by the way, one more thing. Have you heard anything about any of the international spots? And then also,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Give us some info on that if you have any.
No, just that, I talked to Paul McDonough at length, and he said that, they are negotiating with players right now, but it's very difficult. He said one day I think that we're minutes away from signing a guy, and then 5 minutes later I feel like we've retreated a week, So, these guys are now, the guys whose contracts are up this summer, there's a lot of guys whose contracts are up, and so they're basically free agents, and they are, their agents are working all these teams. They are pitting one against the other. They make you think that you have a guy, and then they tell you that this team from La Liga or from Italy or wherever, Germany is offering this, and then what can you offer? And so there's a lot of high level negotiations that are going on. In fact, Paul didn't even go. Paul is not in Orlando. He said the best way I can help this team is to stay here in Miami and be on the phone 24/7 trying to get these deals done. So he wants to get 2 players signed before the end of this tournament. He told me that his goal is to have 2 internationals signed, including a DP, before the end of this tournament, and then have them, join the team as soon as the team comes back to market. So we'll see what happens.
Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. Catch her exceptional work there at the Miami Herald website. As always, Michelle, you're the best. Stay with the
care. Have a
coverage.
good
We
weekend.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
You got it. Michelle Kaufman. Getting it done, covering it. We're out here at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Come on out here, folks. Take advantage. And if you come on out here and you get a vehicle, you buy one, you lease one, make sure you tell them that I sent you because they will take care of you. I promise you on that. All right, we're out here 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Come on by and say hi. We'll take a break. You want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Email Orlando at Big O Radio Show. Hour number 3 is next.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Hour number 3, man. We are on. We thank Michelle Kaufman talking a little football. Remember, the program is brought to you by VSS West Pines. We love the people over at VSS West Pines. We're there every Wednesday hanging out with the boys. 12397 Pembroke Road. Go to the website, vsswestpines.com. Get it all there. And mention my name, you get 20% off. So if you're going to buy a hookah, they got them from $19.99 and up. Can you imagine? If you're going to buy a $100 hookah, you're going to get $20 off if you mention us. So there you go. You know what I mean? So 20%
Buy the
off.
stuff to put in the hookah.
And yeah, exactly. Don't go to hookah bars. Not that they're open, but I mean, with COVID, you don't want to do that. So get your own hookah, man. And they've got all kinds of water pipes. You name it. They got the Khalil Mamoon, which is really the Egyptian made, which is supposedly one of the top there for you hookah folks. If you love that, they've what's his name? They've got his water pipe that's really popular. I forgot the name of the TV guy that's really he's really open about smoking weed. I forgot his name, but he's got like this special water pipe that, like, it's made for him. It's German.
Bill Mars is one of the guys.
No, it's German made. I forgot the guy's name. He's a TV guy or a director, actor. Forgot his damn name, but he's got one there that is absolutely. Do I have the notes here on that? I might have that one. Let me see where it's at. See, here we have it here. Forgot his damn
Bill
name.
Maher is a big proponent for weed.
Yes, okay, that's fine, bro. That's not what I'm talking about. Talking about another, this guy that's a TV guy, a movie guy. I forgot his damn name now. It's a fat guy. And he writes a lot, and he's funny, and, oh, man. He like, openly is a smoker. No, not Woody Harrelson. I said fat, so it definitely can't be Woody. He's kind of a chubby guy, bro. Damn, I forgot his damn name. But anyway, they have his water bong there, and that thing is like one of the top in the world. And supposedly people want to buy it all the time. They're one of the exclusive places that has it. No, it's not Seth Rogen. It's damn, I forgot his name now. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Super Boom Shack. Wow, holy moly. He sends in a huge super chat. Thank you, sir.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Super Boom Shack, you are a stud. He says, oh, happy Freestyle Friday. I am spinning Trenier and Debbie Deb. All right, look out weekends, because here I come. Trenier, let's see. I'll be all you ever need, right? I think is one of them. They're playing our song, right? That was another Trenier one. I'm trying to remember a couple of Treniers. Because she had a few. Debbie Deb had Lookout Weekends, and she had one more, right? Funky Little Beat. That's it. She had those two. But Trenier had several. She was actually pretty good. I saw Trenier a couple times. I might have caught her at like Parallel Bar or Backstreet or something like that. I remember. So he's spinning Trenier and Debbie Deb on his turntables right now. Now the question is, are they 1200 techniques? That's the question, Super Boom Shack. Because you're spinning when they're 1200 techniques, okay? Just saying. Do you and Bill have any freestyle requests? Yes. Give me Upfront Infatuation. Okay? All right?
Illusion, Den Haro.
Future Brain.
Yeah.
There you go.
Broken Radio.
Broken Radio. That's my favorite from Den Haro. That's like it. Most people know Future Radio. If you know, if you know no, it's Future something, not Future Radio. Is it Future Radio? Or
Future Brain.
Future Brain. Most people
Broken Radio.
Most people know Future Brain because that was kind of his probably most popular hit. But Broken Radio from Den Haro is
the other two for me. Love Letters.
Oh.
And got to be next to you.
There we go. Got to be next to you is Cynthia. Roundtree.
Thank
Roundtree.
you.
That's it. That's right. Cynthia Roundtree.
I was giving you a chance, brother. And who is Love Letters?
Love Letters is. Wait a minute. I thought it was a Sweet Sensation.
Giggles.
Giggles?
Yeah, isn't it Giggles?
I don't know. I don't think so. Is it? I write to you love letters. Love letters. I remember that. It was kind of that tone, too. She had kind of that voice. Anyway, I miss freestyle music days. I was chilling at the roller skating ring every Friday. There we go, John Santos. Everyone could come, but wear a mask, Super Boom Shack says.
That is correct, sir.
Is it Giggles? Wow. Damn, one hit wonder.
Don't mess with my memory, brother.
Giggles. Wow. That's crazy. There we go. So, all right, so there's your trip through Freestyle Lane for you. Thank you, Super Boom Shack, for giving us a little freestyle love. We're pretty much open to most musics here on this program.
There, but by the grace of God. That song?
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
But then if you're going to go there, you have to do like Holly Dolly.
Right,
and,
that's Kano.
You know? Yeah,
that's
man.
Kano.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Yes, I am. There you go. Anybody going to shuffle now? You got your Rydell Classics out, your Kangaroos.
Must have Canadian Reds on those Rydell Classics.
What do you got? I still have my Rydell Classics. I still have them.
Are the Canadian Reds on them, brother?
I have the second pair of Rydell Classics.
Do you have
the first pair I grew out of? The second pair, it was because remember, you always bought your skates 1 or 2 sizes bigger, and you stuffed it with socks at the front, right? As your feet grew, so you grew because you weren't going to, unless you were gross and you were renting skates every time, which.
Back in the day, bro, $150 for, $180 for those,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You had to buy it a couple sizes too big.
Yeah, you had to buy a couple sizes bigger. So if you had a 6, you bought an 8. If you had a 10, you bought a 12 because you knew you were going to kind of grow into it. And that's what I did with my both pairs of skates. But the second pair, since I stayed at 12, I'm either a 12 or 12 and a half. It all depends on the shoe. The skates, I was already like a 10 and a half or something at that point. And so I got a bigger skate, and I've been fine ever since. I've used them a couple times, by the way.
Do they still have a rabbit's foot attached to the back?
No rabbit's
foot.
No, I got no rabbit's foot hanging from it. I don't have my goodie comb hanging out of my pockets, in my back pocket, because you had to have a goodie comb. Okay?
And you were really cool.
Turtle shell preferred.
You were really cool if you had the smeared one, remember?
Yes.
That smeared one like a hot fudge. Way
but it's a turtle shell.
Yeah,
it's
man.
the turtle shell. You had to have the turtle shell. And then
no, not the turtle shell. I'm talking about the one that looked like a hot fudge sundae that was smeared, and it had like the colors bleeding. You don't remember that
Isn't
one?
that the brown one like that?
No,
the turtle
man.
shell's
The
like
turtle
that.
shell was the turtle shell. I'm talking about the one that looked like smeared ice cream.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, they had it in blue, brown, and I think orange.
Okay. Clee
You're probably
Torres.
using Germac shampoo, right?
Yes. Yeah. or Suave. What's it called? Clee Torres, by the way, chiming in with a giant super chat. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way. No way. Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Incredible back-to-back strong super chats there by Super Boom Shack and now Clee Torres, man. Thank you. He says, good Michelle Kaufman segment. Thank you, sir. Michelle is fantastic. She covers it and gives us all the info wall to wall. She works hard at it, man. It's good. Having Michelle, having Kobe, having Franco Panizo. Franco does an excellent job. Let me tell you, during the games, Franco Panizo is an excellent follow on Twitter, okay? I'm just telling you. So if you're a big soccer fan, if you love Inter, follow Franco Panizo. All right, and he's got a podcast now where he does all Inter talk. So that's another reason to follow the guy. We have him on, but I had him during the game there, following him, and I thought he did an excellent job, man. Excellent job. Super Boom Shack says, I hung out in the arcade at the roller rink. Definitely. Well, I remember when we were at Tropical West. You know, Tropical West was cool because you had the rink, you had the arcades, and then you had the disco in the back. And that was cool because, you know, you meet your special someone and, you know, you go have a pizza, you have a drink, you play some video games. Hey, let's go dance a little bit. And so you were able to like go dance a little bit, skate a little bit. You know, it was fun in those days. It was fun. I like that. I wonder why. I mean, I don't know. Maybe kids nowadays could never do it because they would probably do stupid things and fight and cause all kinds of chaos. Not that things were perfect in our day, but that rarely happened. That wasn't anything. That wasn't something that was a big part of it. But you wonder, like, that was a great way. Nowadays, obviously, with COVID going on right now, that would be a problem. But I'm saying, I wonder why that kind of went out of style when it was a great way to spend the night and hang out with your friends, meet girls or guys, depending on, you know, your interests and all that stuff. To me, I thought the rink was always a great place, you know? So home consoles killed the arcades. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Can't argue with that one. No doubt about it. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. We haven't gone to the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Let's see. You bringing it strong today, Big O. God bless you, brother. Be safe. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, as always, tuning in and keeping it locked here. Let's see. What else do we have? Steve Cohen said he will pay $2 billion for the Mets and $2 billion for SNY. The Wilsons will never get more than that. I think it's a done deal. Dolphin Jeff from Long Island. Oh, man, if that's what they want to do, then knock themselves out and go for it. You know what I mean? I'm not a Mets fan, so I don't, you know. Good morning, Orlando and Big O. The Big Ten announced yesterday that all fall sports will only play in conference schedule. For football, it will be a 10-game schedule. They are going to evacuate winter and spring sports at a later date. And I have to agree with you. I am not hopeful. I think the next step is moving the sports to the spring. Then we may get lucky to have college football. Ron from Michigan, yeah. It's just, you know, Ron, it's just hard to see it happening right now. It really is. It's really tough to see that happening, you know? And I would love to see football happen. I'm an enormous football fan, but I got to be honest. You got to look at it for what it is. Bill, a little music news for you. Deftones announced their 2021 dates. They are touring with Gorja and Poppy. I know Gorja. I don't know anything about Poppy. And there is no Florida date. Okay? Sorry to depress you about that, Bill, but no Florida date. Now, okay, while there isn't a Florida date for the Deftones, there is one date that's kind of interesting, Bill. August 28th of 2021, they're in Asbury Park. They're at the Stone Pony Summer Stage, which is the stage that's in the back, that they've got an open parking lot and people can stand and watch because that's where the bigger bands perform there instead of inside. Because inside, you haven't been to the Stone Pony yet, but inside I would be, dude, maybe 250 people fit, no more than that. And so the outside stage probably can accommodate somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 1,000, maybe 800. So they're going to be at the Stone Pony Summer Stage August 28th. If we could go up there at that time, as long as there's nothing conflicting down here, but there's maybe something else going on within those days.
Yankees in town, Red Sox game.
Okay, but I'm talking music. I need another concert to go up there. I need one more concert because I want to go to the Stone Pony for a concert. So I'm good if I could see Deftones at Asbury Park. I think that'll be really cool to go see the Deftones there. And
Cool
that'll
to go back to my birth state.
And that'll be a bucket list right there that I'm able to resolve. But I'd like one more concert in the area and during that time. Day before, 2 days before, day after, 2 days after. And there's got to be. It's New York, bro. You know, hopefully, obviously, we got the whole thing solved. We got our vaccine by then, and then we're good. So we got some music history for you today. Also, on July 10th, back in 1965, the Stones started a 4-week run at number 1 on the singles charts with I Can't Get No Satisfaction, their first chart topper in the U.S. Eric Clapton, on this date back in 1968, announced that Cream would break up when they completed their tour that they were on. In 94, Anthrax guitarist Scott Ian married Debbie Levitt in Huntington Beach, California. Sadly, they divorced 7 years later. In 97, the Pretenders' Chrissie Hynde married Lucio Brevia, an artist from Colombia who was 14 years her junior. They divorced 5 years later. And in 2012, on this date, Slash got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. About that. So there you go. A little music news there for you. One more thing in music news. The Osbournes have a new series coming out. And the new series will be for the Travel Channel. Ozzy, Sharon, and son Jack will be presented with footage of paranormal activity, such as UFOs, ghosts, and haunted houses, and given free rein to discuss the authenticity. It's titled The Osbournes Want to Believe. The show will mark the family members' united return to TV following their hit reality series back in Zeros. The Osbournes, notably absent from the group, is daughter Kelly, who appeared to be on the popular MTV show, but will not take part in the new program. The eldest daughter, Amy, will also be absent, continuing her decision to exclude herself from all Osbourne-related endeavors. The Osbournes Want to Believe is something of a continuation for Jack. He also hosts a supernatural series called Portals to Hell with the Travel Channel. A watch party for the show hosted during the early days of COVID-19 pandemic provided part of the inspiration for the new series. So they're going to talk about paranormals. All right, so Ozzy Osbourne all by himself is a paranormal. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne is going to be talking about UFOs. First of all, will they have at least subtitles under? Because you can't understand what he's saying. Seriously. And is there a bigger space cadet, if we're going to talk about UFOs and all that stuff, than Ozzy Osbourne right now? El socio está quemado. Tomorrow at noon, Bill, what are you going to be doing? What are you going to be doing at noon tomorrow?
Maybe sleeping in, depending on how much stuff I got to do tonight.
Elton John live YouTube tomorrow.
Oh, that is tomorrow.
Noon.
I remember you telling me about, what was that, like 2 weeks ago you announced that?
That's right. Noon tomorrow, Elton John.
Yeah, that's
YouTube
a must.
channel.
That's a must.
YouTube channel, noon. And for those of you that are Grateful Dead fans, Dead and Company tomorrow at 8 o'clock will be streaming an archive concert. So if you love your Dead and Company, 8 o'clock tomorrow, all right, Dead and Company on their YouTube channel, you can enjoy a little streaming, and they'll put together a past concert, which is really, really cool. So enjoy that also. The other thing that I wanted to get into, and if you guys want to get in, we can rock it here at 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Raheem Mostert, his agent, And I know Brett Tessler really well, his agent. One of the classiest dudes you will ever meet in the business. Okay? I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance to meet the agent, Brett Tessler, put it this way. Brett is one of those guys, it's impossible to have an issue with the guy because he's such a good dude overall. And I'm sure he's probably not happy on my take yesterday about Raheem Mostert. But then again, I got to be objective. I got to do my job. And nothing personal against Raheem or, of course, my boy Brett. I got nothing but love for them. But I told you, I think they're kind of out of touch right now. And so yesterday, Tessler had to deal with a situation because he got backlash from a trade request from him and his client, right? So they tweeted out, somebody had a fake account with Tessler's name on it, Tessler Sports, but the L in Tessler, they made it an I. So they kind of fooled people that it was Tessler Sports. And the tweet said, after recent backlash from my yesterday's trade request, me and my client, Raheem Mostert, are rescinding our trade request from them 49ers. San Francisco is the best place for Mostert to be, and I failed to realize that, said the phony account. So then Tessler, had to then kind of, correct this and that they still have their trade request on the table. And it's funny, that stuff goes on because it's kind of part of our society and it is what it is. But I got to tell you something. Here's where you get into, and you know what? It might not even be the agent. It might be the player demanding that he wants more money. But the problem is, what Raheem Mostert has to understand is he has no track record as a great running back. He has a very short and small sample size that he was extremely effective. Played really well, but not enough to say you've arrived and you're a stud from here on out. Because he's not the first and may not be the last player ever to go out and have a great year and then flop. Plenty of guys have done that over the years. And so the Niners would be dumb to give him the money right now until he's proven it. And they obviously are not willing to do it. And in a COVID-type year, it makes it even harder. So now you're requesting your trade when you're under contract. And you don't have enough of a track record that people are going to be lined up to trade for you and give up picks and give you a contract. Because remember, if you trade for Raheem Mostert, you also have to give him a new contract. So you have to give up a pick and the money. I find the trade request to be a little bit too much at this point because there isn't any history right now that backs it. It's a sample size. It's not a history. And that's where, it's we can laugh at somebody snaking the audience and telling people that, oh no, this guy's actually eliminated his trade request. But come on, man, that's not going to end up flying. It's not going to get it done. And they're in a terrible position because the Niners have another running back on the roster. And if they want to hold out, that's the most interchangeable position. And they could make you look so bad by getting a mid to late round pick and go trade for another running back from somewhere else. Be very careful with this one. This one's kind of tough, man. I got to tell you, if I'm Raheem Mostert, I would rethink my strategy on demanding a trade and demanding more money. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We've got a bunch of things to talk about when I get back on the other side. Some football stuff. I got some fun stuff. I got some crazy stuff. We'll share all of that with you in the next half hour right here on The Big O Show.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
We're back. All right, man. Did you guys, how many of you are into horse racing? Because I know Bill spends his time betting on horses like all around the country. He is as degenerate as it gets. And so I would imagine, Bill, you were betting yesterday on the Fauci horse, right? Because you're a big Fauci fan. No?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. So yesterday, a horse named Dr. Anthony Fauci was racing at Keeneland on Thursday. It's a 2.5-year colt, all right? And it was the heavy favorite, by the way, against the 11 rivals there. It's a $70,000 race, all right? And Fauci performed pretty well, man. Let's hear the end of the race.
There to the inside, Gypsy King tries to join that pair from third. Gap of 3 back to Rustler. United and Resolute is in fifth. Fauci, the leader at the 8th pole. And here comes United and Resolute from the outside. Fauci with the lead. United and Resolute striding forward. But Fauci has the advantage. United and Resolute still second. Down to the line, Fauci to win it. For Tyler Gaffalione, United and Resolute was home second.
There you go. So Fauci's horse ends up winning. It ran 5.5 furlongs on the turf at 58.65 seconds under jockey Tyler Gaffalione, and it paid $420 for the win. I wonder if anybody also smoked at the same time, because it is $420. Fauci finished in second in his career debut at New York's Belmont Park on June 3rd for trainer Wesley Ward. The colt is named for the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, who's advising the White House, although the White House kind of keeps him down. The victory, by the way, was worth $42,000, increasing Fauci's career earnings to $54,800. Fauci was purchased for $175,000 at the 2019 Keeneland September yearling sales.
United Resolute came in second. I hope that United Resolute to solve COVID-19 ends up winning.
There you go.
Okay?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. He has spoken. But I love it that Fauci gets a horse named after him and they win. That is freaking awesome. It is. That's so cool. You got a horse named after you and it actually wins? There's nothing wrong with that, dude.
You get a horse. Man, I've always said if I got a racehorse, I'd name it Selection.
And by the way, now they've muzzled him in the White House, obviously, because they don't want him spewing the truth. So now he has to go and talk to Fox and CNN and MSNBC and Reuters and Stephen Curry and different people have him on. I catch them all over the place except at the White House briefings anymore. Well, they don't even have those anymore. All right, it's funny and it's worse now than it's ever been. And so the briefings are gone. Gotta love how people abandon you in the most trying times for the country. Yeah, that's great leadership, man. It's fantastic. I saw a ghost in summer camp when I was a kid. She was an older woman dressed in all white with long hair. Sounds like a scene from Scooby-Doo, bro. Dean G says, if the horse is running at Keeneland, then he's a good horse. They have quality racing there, cream of the crop. Well, I'll take your word for it, Dean G. I do not know horse racing to that point that I can actually tell you that. That's strong on your part, my man. It's absolutely strong. We have a new Karen. As you all know, this entire COVID thing has made us change our ways. I mean, I'm doing my 30th year of radio now, and I got to tell you that I never thought that I would be doing radio with a face mask. I never in my life ever imagined that. And obviously, it's been an adjustment. When you go into bars and restaurants and clubs and supermarkets and everything, you got to wear a mask now. Okay? It is required. And we are changing our ways. We got to kind of be careful, wash our hands as much as possible, keep our distance, don't shake hands, try not to be talking with people in close quarters, all of those things, right? We have had to change our ways of thinking, the way we act. But there are people out there that just cannot do it. They refuse to do it. They think you are taking their rights away. And the female version of it, they're called Karens. These women are the ones that are spewing hate, spewing all kinds of craziness. That's because usually they are crazy. Here's the latest Karen who did not want to go who refused to put on a mask to go into a dentist office.
I'm not raising. You're going to work on my teeth, not my nose. I don't wear a mask getting my teeth cleaned. But it's about the safety of all of our. Fine, I'll cover my mouth. Can I go be seated now? No, because you're not filling out the forms or letting us take your temperature. It's about protecting our. You can't take my temperature. That's against the law. All right. Well, I can't. You're not an MD. We're not allowed to. We can't see you. I have a right to sue you for harassing me, the manager, and this entire company, Smile, whatever you call it, Dental. I do have that right, and I talked to my attorney before I came here, too. Okay. So does he want that to happen? I've waited long enough for my teeth to be cleaned, okay? Let's get this done, okay? I can't. They're telling me I can't see you. Who's there? The owner of the practice. I want to hear him. Get him on the phone. He has to send me in written writing, so I want to see your policy. You shouldn't be in the building without a mask either. I can do what I want. No, you can't. It's not a law. It's not a law. This is a medical law. No, a dental office.
Well, let's just clear it up. First of all, it's a private practice. They don't have to allow you in if they don't want to. And if their requirement is to wear a mask because they want you to protect everybody else that's in there, then you got to wear it. But again, if you're a crazy bitch like this, that you are ignorant as hell, there are people out there that actually think that the mask is going to kill you or something. Or the mask won't help at all, which of course it helps. It's not perfect. Nothing is perfect, but it's better than having no mask at all. And they don't want you breathing on people out there. And this is an airborne virus. So as you talk and breathe and all that, did you watch the Brazilian president? Did you watch that moron? Did you watch the Brazilian president announce he had corona?
I didn't see the announcement, but I know a couple days ago.
Let me reenact Brazilian president, whatever that clown's name is, announcing to the media that he has corona. Are you ready? Media's gathered around. He looks at everybody and says, hey, I want you all to know I have corona. My man took off the mask to tell the media he had corona. So if you think we're the only idiots that vote like terrible people in office, and Brazil's right there, buddy. The president of the country takes off his mask to tell the people covering the event that he's got COVID. No, he doesn't keep the mask on to keep all the COVID maybe trapped up inside. No. Sharing is caring. It's really amazing, dude. I mean, wow. That is, if you saw that, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But then again, the way he's acted, and then you watch the country, and they're in shambles right now. They're building and digging more graves than anyone else in the world right now. We're behind them. We're number 2, but they are right there, man. They are, wow, it's crazy. Anyway, I'm just saying, that woman, they can serve you if they don't want to serve you, they don't have to. It's a private business. And if they require a mask, and especially in a dental office, come on, dude. Everybody in each room is like this. Come on. You know, they're all sitting there with their mouths open. Put on the damn mask. Then when you get in the room and they got to work on you, you can take off the damn mask. What I don't understand is, why is it such a problem for some people? Why is it something that you should be able to do calmly? And it's a decent thing for your fellow man. I don't understand that. And why people have to politicize it, why people have to, end up making it personal or making it to the point like they're trying to take their rights away, which is stupid. Just trying to save lives. That's it. What do we have here? You guys, I think it looks like you all are talking with each other, so I can't. Looks like doesn't look like much there when it comes to questions. Maybe you want to put something in caps or something if you want to reach me, because it just looks like there's a lot of exchanging going on. Julian Edelman. I want to give Julian Edelman a lot of credit. And I don't know if it's going to work, because Julian has made an offer and an olive branch to Deshaun Ignorant Jackson, welcoming him to a trip to the Holocaust. And more than that, actually. I want you to hear what Julian Edelman had for Deshaun Jackson, because I thought it was studly on his part, what he has asked him to do. And it'd be interesting to see if Deshaun Jackson is willing to take him up on it, is willing to go through it, and really actually be a active participant in all of this, in really trying to understand how ignorant and how disgusting his comments were to the entire Jewish community. Okay?
I've been getting hit up.
Go ahead.
I've been getting hit up by everyone asking me about this Deshaun Jackson post. And I wanted to take some time before I responded, because it's a complicated issue, and I wanted to be thoughtful. I wrote down some of my thinking. I've seen Deshaun play in his career, make outstanding football plays. We've communicated over social media. I've got nothing but respect for his game. I know he said some ugly things, but I do see an opportunity to have a conversation. I'm proud of my Jewish heritage. And for me, it's not just about religion. It's about community and culture as well. I'm unusual because I didn't identify as Jewish until later in my life. Whenever I encountered hatred, it never really felt like it was aimed at me. It was only after I was part of this community that I learned how destructive hate is. Anti-Semitism is one of the oldest forms of hatred. It's rooted in ignorance and fear. I remember experiencing a little bit of this hate in 2011 when I was called a kike on the football field. There's no room for anti-Semitism in this world. Even though we're talking about anti-Semitism, I don't want to distract from how important the Black Lives Matter movement is and how we need to stay behind it. I think the Black and Jewish communities have a lot of similarities. One unfortunate similarity is that they are both attacked by the ignorant and the hateful. It's really hard to see the challenges a community can face when you're not part of it. So what we need to do is, we need to listen, we need to learn, we need to act. We need to have those uncomfortable conversations if we're going to have real change. So to that end, Deshaun, let's do a deal. How about we go to DC and I take you to the Holocaust Museum, and then you take me to the Museum of African American History and Culture. Afterwards, we grab some burgers and we have those uncomfortable conversations. This world needs a little more love, compassion, and empathy. Take care.
That was outstanding on Edelman's part, and I hope Deshaun Jackson takes him up on it, because it would be a great conversation between Julian Edelman and Deshaun Jackson. And the way, Edelman, portrayed it, not only, hey, I'll take you to the Holocaust Museum, but you take me to the African American History and Cultural Center. And you can talk about the issues, because as we all fight for what's right? And Deshaun Jackson has to understand that there's a lot of Jewish people in those protests, because there's a lot of white people in that protest. In fact, in the protest, the beautiful part about this is that the majority of the people are white. That means they're standing with the black community. And we got to stand with the Jewish community. And we got to stand with the LGBT community. And we got to stand with women. And we got to, you know what I mean? And so it's got to be done this way, because it's not just one battle we have. We have many. But if we don't understand each other's battles, then we're never going to get anywhere. And that's the important part about all of this. And that's where I hope Deshaun really takes the opportunity to do this, because he needs it. He needs to show that he's not nearly as ignorant and hateful as he appears. Because whether he likes it or not, and it goes for Steven Jackson too, because Steven Jackson can go out there and say, oh, I love all. Well, dude, you just backed up a Hitler comment. You can't do that. And your apologies cannot be half-ass. When people grilled Drew Brees, that's how you apologize. That you actually care, that you actually show contrition, that you actually show pain, that you actually show that it affected you. Because we can see it. When it doesn't affect you and it's a half-ass apology, we all see through it. Well, most of us. I'm just hoping that he has the patience to do this. I don't think in the end he's going to end up winning the Jewish community over at any point in time, because the second you side with Hitler in any way, shape, or form, nobody of the Jewish community should ever even look at you again. Okay? I mean, you lose 6 million people. That's That's not something you just like, oh, well, time will heal all. No. Time may heal, other pains that happen, or they help subside them a little bit. This one, there's no time. No. What needs to be done is that there needs to be a reminder, a constant reminder of the capability, the evil that some humans can bring. So we make sure it never happens again. That's why history books are very important. It's very important that we have the history, the right history, even if it's ugly, so we can teach others not to follow it. We're not going back to slavery. Okay? And now, finally, maybe we're going to start turning some pages here on hate. And maybe we could stop seeing less hate because now it's getting exposed. And who knows, the ignorant and even the hateful might learn a lesson from all of this and even might change their ways. I mean, you see enough hate on TV and you look at it and go, wow, is that me? Is that what I look like? And that's what these Karens are looking like. These Karens are all, they're some of them are probably realizing they have, by the way, because you've seen a couple that have really, like the one that was doing this, that old lady was one of the few that when she apologized, she kind of realized what she is. Now, I don't know if she's changed or anything like that, but it was kind of a brutal reminder. And it's sad. You know why it's really sad? Think about this. These people that spew hate, and a lot of them, you see, they're old and white, okay? Sorry to stereotype, but it is what it is. But the problem is when you're like in your 60s and late 50s and 70s, and this is you, and this has been you now for 50, 60, 70 years, boy, it's hard to change. And, my Lord, if you had to watch video of yourself now and you didn't know what you look like, and now you find out what you've looked like for 50, 60, and 70 years, wow.
Deshaun Jackson was too lazy to go read and research where his thing came from. So for him to spend it, that's too much effort.
Well, we'll see.
It's not going to happen.
We'll see. We shall see. We shall see if he's willing to do it.
Plus his lack of knowledge with, what he put out there. I don't think he has a real good knowledge of the museum that what Edelman would want him to show him. Edelman might do better just using one of the people that represents the museum. He might learn more.
I'll tell you what, Brand. All you have to do is go to the one in the Miami Beach, and if you walk
the Holocaust?
For half an hour, and you're not a changed person when you walk out of there, there's something wrong with you, dude. Pretty simple.
I've been over there so many times when my friends were living over on the beach. We, every few months because we'd be right there.
I've been to it. I've been to it. I think twice in my lifetime, and it's so moving,
super powerful, amazing.
It's kind of like when you go to 9/11 and you go to New York and you go to where the spot where the buildings were and all the names are there and the waterfall and all that, and it's a painful reminder, and it's something that just it kind of haunts you. You know what I mean? And to think that those people died in that building, to think of the 6 million Jewish people that were crucified by that pig, it's just these are things that we have to remind people that this kind of evil exists. But we also have to try to fight to abolish this kind of thinking. And we got to get to a point where we understand each other. You know what I mean? Somebody tweeted out, one of you guys said that Jewish people should ban the NFL until Deshaun Jackson. We can't do that, man. We can't do that. We cannot blame an entire group of people for somebody's ignorance. We'd be doing what Trump is doing. Trump calls the Black Lives Movement a hateful organization. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm not talking. Maybe there's one or two people that you may not like or disagree with or whatever. Fine, I don't care. To me, the Black Lives Movement is about black lives. Okay? It's about every black life. It's about changing the way people view black people. That's what it's about. It's not about an organization. It's about every man, woman, and child that has to grow up living black in this country. That's what it's about. But then Trump is just hateful and then just blacks it all out. You can't do that. And you can't do the same thing. I forgot who put it up there, but you can't do that, ladies and gentlemen. We can't blame all the NFL players for Deshaun Jackson. We can't. It's not fair because all of them don't feel that way. Most of them, I'm sure, don't feel that way because I don't think most people carry that kind of hate in their heart. I really don't. I know it's there for some people, but it's very few. You know, we gotta have more understanding for each other. Man of 1,005 Holds says, are you a Hunt fan? Good band. I don't even know them, Hunt. I will check it out. Let's see. What do we got here? Myron is chiming in with another super chat. Oh, watch Paranormal Cotton Camera if you don't believe on the paranormal. Okay.
What's going on in there?
Super chat.
Excuse me a sec. What are you babbling about?
Super chat.
If he
super chat.
We'll all
super chat.
It'll be anarchy. Out of my hands.
Okay, I am writing it down. Paranormal Caught on Camera. Okay? Paranormal Caught on Camera and the band Hunt. Thank you. You guys have given me some homework. Thank you, Myron, chiming in for a second super chat. You're a super stud. Man of 1,005 Holds, Studley with a super chat. And we got another one. Robert Triana with a second super chat of the day. He says, I got goosebumps listening to Edelman speak. Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, it was. It was awesome. And so are you, Robert.
What the hell?
Super chat.
That took guts. We need guts.
I told you I can totally...
Super chat.
So you think you got what it takes?
You have no skills.
This is permanent.
Good job.
I'm promoting you.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
Take pride in that.
Hey, by the way, do you plan on changing up, or you just made the first few and that's it? You're gonna keep them, you know? Can you like freshen up the super chats, bro? We got people making an effort with super chats. You make no effort on super chat, none. Let's go, bro.
There's
change it up.
7 of them.
And more. Let's go. Change it up. Change it up. We've been playing the same 7 for weeks now. Let's go. Right? You guys deserve some new super. He's got to get creative back there. He's got to do some stinking production. Some new super chats. I want you guys laughing at some new super chats. Let's go. So we got to get his ass in gear here to do some new ones. John, today is going to be a great day for you. Watch. I don't know what that means. Ever heard of Brian De La Beckwith talk? Filthy, disgusting excuse? I don't know. I don't know who that is, John. Mike says, unfortunately, BLM is a political affiliation to a Democratic Party. They aren't. Yeah, but Mike, I don't go for the organization stuff. No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. It's about people, bro. I'm not looking at an organization. I'm looking at human beings, bro. Black Lives Movement is about human beings. It's not about an organization. It's about human beings. That's the way I look at it. I'm fighting for people, for human beings. That's it. Not an organization. So I'm not going to get trapped up in that, man. I'm not going to get trapped up in the Trump politics. You know what I mean? Or I don't get caught up in the Democratic politics either. You know? I'm sorry. I just don't look at it that way. And to me, Black Lives Movement is not democratic. Okay? It's about humanity. That's the problem. We keep politicizing things. The mask, Black Lives Movement. It's not about that. It's about doing what's right. It's right to wear a mask so we can try to control this thing because it's the best thing that we know on how to control it. We're not perfect. We can't be trapped up in our houses forever, right? So if you can go outside, then wear a mask. That's it. The Black Lives Movement is about forcing people to change their ways and their evil ways of how they mistreat others. That's what it's about. It's about doing the right thing. Okay? Anyway, so time to wrap it up on the program. That's been 3 horas of rock and roll. Although, you know what, Bill? You know what you could do? You could call Joel Embiid and find out where you can get a hazmat suit. Did you see him show up to the NBA bubble yesterday in a hazmat suit?
No, I did not, but it
was awesome.
Excessive.
I know, but
smart.
No, he was just, it's him. He wants to joke around, have some fun. That was classic. I got to say, that was good. That was, that was funny. That was funny. I got to give him a little love for that, okay? He's one of those guys that is entertaining. Sometimes, he could be a little bit of a knucklehead, obviously, but he is entertaining as hell, bro. He's good for the NBA. That was good. Oh, I agree with the message, not the deliverables. Well, it's about people, Mikey. It's about people, baby. Let's defend people. So, what can you do? Well, Uber goes, BLM is funneling money to Joe Biden's campaign. Well, Uber, okay. Listen, my brother, Uber, you're probably a hardcore Republican, and that's why you took that shot. But be objective for once, dude. If you are in the Black Lives Movement, who are you going to go with? You're going to go with Trump? Come on, bro. A guy that's calling it hateful. The vice president will not say Black Lives Matter. Will never say it. So I get it. Some of you out there, you're Republican or you're Democrat. You have no balls. You won't be objective. You'll be a party zombie. And you follow whatever the party does, right or wrong. Okay? Right or wrong, you're a freaking party zombie. You don't think for yourselves. So if you want to take that shot, Uber Beaner, okay, be objective. You can't, I can. So I don't know if that's true or not. A bunch of you come up with these silly-ass Oliver Stone theories, and I don't care if BLM is funding them or not. But I will tell you this. If I would fund somebody, if I'm BLM, you damn right it's going to be the Democrats. It's not going to be Trump. I mean, come on.
Come on, man. He's done so much for social equal.
Give me a break, dude. Look at him now. Come on. He's got that guy has no empathy for anything going on. Not for the pandemic, not for the Black Lives Movement, not for any of that. Nothing. This guy's the worst. Dude, I voted for Reagan. I voted for Bush Sr. I voted for Bush Jr. I voted for Republicans. I voted for Republicans and I voted for Democrats. I would never vote for Trump, dude. Never. That's the worst human being we've ever put in office. So, Uber, I get it, dude. You have no balls. You can't be objective. You got to be a party zombie. Oh, they're funneling on the other side. Well, why wouldn't they? They're the ones that actually have some empathy for him. There's nothing's coming from the president at all. It's really amazing for some of you out there, man. You're just party zombies. Wow. No balls, bro. No balls. You won't take a shot at your own. It's amazing. Dean G, thank you, sir. Coming in with a super chat towards the end there. Appreciate it, man.
I know that, dude.
Where'd you get this? Super chats.
Oh, gnarly.
Awesome. Totally awesome.
There we go. And Bill, we got to keep you busy here. You're going to get like a carpal tunnel or whatever it is. Jean-Luc, another super chat.
What's going on in there?
Super chat.
Excuse me a sec. What are you babbling about?
Super chat.
If he
super chat.
We'll all
super chat.
It'll be anarchy. It's out of my hands.
And by the way, he had a great line, Jean-Luc. He says, Big O people vote for their teams, Dem or Republic, like blind-ass fans. Amen to that. Amen to that. Yeah. Uber Beaner, Trump's done more for blacks than Joe Biden. Joe Biden hasn't even been in office yet, bro. So I don't know what you can't compare. And I already saw what that guy's done for the last 4 years. If you're defending anything like that, I'm sorry, bro. You know what I can tell, my man? I can tell Uber Beaner, I can tell you're not black. That's what I can tell. Oh, you gotta love it, bro. And I'm not defending Biden. See, Uber Beaner, you see how you go for Joe Biden? It shows you, bro. Uber Beaner, you got no balls, bro. Okay? Your BBs never dropped. None. That's all, bro. That's it. You're a staunch Republican. That's all you see, and you think that's all right. Sorry. Democrats suck, and so do Republicans. You better learn that, my man, because I'm certainly not defending Biden. Biden's a clown. We're screwed. Okay? Once they kick Trump out now and they put Biden in, that doesn't make us any better. Okay? It only makes us better because at least you don't have a disgusting human being in office. That's the only difference. You don't have a guy that has no empathy for nobody, that doesn't care about anything except the stock market. That's all. That's all. That's how he measures everything. You know what 85% of the country doesn't play? The stock market. Well, it's doing well. Everybody else is. Yeah, there's a person that has 4 jobs just to keep their heads above water. Come on, man. Give me a break. Have some objectivity, bro. That's the problem with some of you out there like Uber Joe. No objectivity whatsoever. Oh, no, I'm a Republican, so I have to take a shot at the Democrat. I'm a Democrat. Everything Republicans do is wrong. No. You're both clown shows. And Myron Sanchez. Myron, are you doing like 3 a day now? Holy moly. Myron, thank you, my brother. Oh, that's why I love the Punisher. He punishes evil. Yes. There you go. It's a beautiful thing. All right, now we do have to wrap it up. And we got to thank all of our super chatters, of course. Alex Diaz chiming in. Cookie Vice. Myron Sanchez, 3 super chats today. You're amazing, Myron, bro. Thank you so much. John Rouse in the house. Julius 305. Jean-Luc with 2 super chats today. Amazing. Robert Triana, 2 super chats today. Amazing. Ray Grulon. Super Boom Shack dropped it. Clee Torres also, man of 1,005 holds. And Dean G. So many folks tuning in. We appreciate you all. We appreciate everybody always downloading the show. As always, remember that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and subscribe to iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play. Search for it all at Big O Radio Show. On behalf of Bill and Philippe, always getting it done on audio and video. And he promises he'll have a couple of new super chat drops on Monday. He promises you super chatters out there, okay? He told me behind the scenes. He goes, we'll get it done one way or another. And so we thank everybody for tuning in, downloading, watching, all of that good stuff. Larry Schlossberg and the amazing people out here at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby. We love you all out there. You all be good, be safe. Wear your mask, please, so we can get back to normal. We can get our sports, we can get concerts, we can get life back. Wear a mask. Be good, be safe.
Have a safe weekend. Till Monday.